Shalom, Star family. How are we doing? Thank you so much for being here. And thank you for coming on in the room. Whoa, come on in the room. Yeah, we got so much to talk about. So won't you come on in the room? Come on. So thank you for for showing up to my second installment of Mercury and Microbriads. There's so much happening. I do not know what to do. Astrology girlies, please give us some insight because it is absolutely crazy out here. It's so crazy. I brought a guest star. Arnold is going to be with us today. We were literally in our group chat and he was like, Nikki, we have to talk about this. And I was like, oh, I was going to talk about some other things, but come on in and let's talk about it. So Arnold is going to join us today and we're just going to talk about some current crazy events going on in the world. And I feel like, I only do these Mercury and Microbriads when things get a little crazy. I feel like this might be a weekly thing because I just feel like we are in Mercury being in Microbriads. I just feel like we're in this spiral of nonsense and craziness, and I don't know when it's going to end. I don't think it will for a very long time. So, without further ado, Star family, let's bring up the beloved Arnold. What's going on?
Can you see me?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh no. Is it? Oh God. What?
Hello?
I kept on like pressing. I'm like, what's going on? And I'm like, I don't know if it's my computer because I wasn't like freezing up. So I don't know what that was. But anyway, Arnold, thank you for being here.
No problem. How are you?
I'm good, guys. Doesn't he look so cute in his beanie?
Thank you. I don't have a haircut.
Oh, okay. I love
We've
it.
been snowed in. So,
Oh, yes. You know
yeah.
what? Let's just start off with that. So, Star Family, we're going to talk about a bunch of subjects. That's why I tried to put as many photos of the topics that we'll talk about in the thumbnail because there's just so much. There's no rhyme or reason. Mercury is a microbraid. So, we are going to just talk about every and anything and see how many subjects we can get through today. So, let's start off with the winter storm of 2026. So,
Yes.
the East Coast has
Uh-huh.
been getting hit really, really hard with this winter storm. It was supposed to be like the blizzard of 96. And if you are from the East Coast, especially like Philly, Jersey, and New York City, back when that happened, I think it was like 96 or something like that.
It was 96.
Blizzard of 96. We had a blast, but we
We
were
did.
children.
We did.
We were all talking about that, and I was like, I had so much fun, and everybody was just like, Nikki, we were kids.
No, what Nikki said was, oh, if y'all get Nikki's in LA, everybody else is, we all in different cities, but we all on the East Coast. Nikki says, oh, if y'all get a blizzard night like 96, I will be so jealous. We said, please don't be jealous and please don't wish that on us. It's not 1996. We're not children. We're not getting school days. It's not adults don't romanticize the blizzard in 96 because they had to go to work, they had to shovel their cars out, or they were parents stuck at home with their kids, which is a big thing. Because one of my friends is going crazy. She's like, I have to get out. I have to get out. So I think that's how the parents were. And yeah, it's not fun. So I will say I am on the East Coast. And though we did not get a blizzard like 1996, that was another thing. People were getting crazy projections about it. I didn't see anything that was saying it was even going to be comparable to a blizzard. It wasn't a blizzard, and it was never really classified as a blizzard, but people were going crazy, buying up the stores. I saw people buying generators, all these hacks on how to warm your hands with candles if your power go out. I was like, is it even supposed to be all that? And it was not. It did snow. I'm not going to lie. It did snow. I ain't worked in 3 days. Okay, it's
wait, that's how. But Arnold, let's be real. Philly does not know how to handle snow, especially black ice. If Philly thinks there's going to be just a hint of black ice, Philly gonna shut down. Philly don't play.
It's funny you should say that because the black ice is the real problem. The snow they be okay, but if it's black ice, they really don't play with it because a lot of harm has come from black ice. Yeah. I think a lot of what we were seeing online was the entire like Texas and a lot of the South who doesn't get this kind of weather regularly was projected to get like ice storms and snowstorms. And I think it was them overreacting because I was saying to people who lived in New York, New Jersey, Philly, I'm like, fuck you doing? Like, it snow every year. It's January. It's January. So it did snow and it did snow a lot. And it has been a little, this is the heaviest snowfall it's been in a good while, only because I'm sorry, I'm looking at this. I'm looking out my window. I'm looking at the snow. It's freezing and it snowed and then it did freeze and rain. So, it snowed a couple times this year. It snowed last year, but then it got like unusually warm the same week. So the snow kind of melted. This snow is like solid ice now. And it ain't going nowhere. So I think that's like the big difference because again, we're on the East Coast. It's cold. It snows. You know what I mean? But yeah, this snow is here to stay. And apparently it's supposed to snow again this weekend. I don't know how substantial it's going to be, but if we get snow on top of this, it's we're going to be in a couple feet of snow.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I will say this. Philly is having a ball with this snow. I am seeing so many videos out of Philly with, people bobsledding down the art museum steps.
Oh, yeah.
This viral video of this guy I forget what it's called, them snow trucks.
The little ATV.
Yeah, he was riding around an ATV in Center City blasting Luther Vandross.
Yeah. Well, he also, I don't know if it's the same guy, but he rode his car, his little ATV up the rocky steps, covered in snow, and down the rocky steps covered in snow, which feels very dangerous. But
yeah, it is. But Philly was having a good time, but a lot of people were. Well, I will say overdoing it now, but you guys are starting to get more snow, so we will see. But when I saw that line outside of Trader Joe's, I think it was the Trader Joe's on Market Street. I was just like, why? It's about to be a blizzard. Why are you going to Trader Joe's? You need to go to like a real market and stock up. Trader Joe's just got snacks.
But here's the crazy thing. Well, Trader Joe's got
Trader Joe's has something. It's just like for something like this, you don't need them the foo she food. You need some bread on bread on bread, like
bread and cheese
and cheese. Okay, block cheese. Stop playing games.
So the funny thing is, even for you to say it was the Trader Joe's on Market Street, downtown and like the real city areas like that never really get hit that bad with the snow.
Well, because the city sure.
Huh?
Because the city makes sure
that the city makes sure. Yes. Like the last time we had a big snow, I actually went on a nice little date and we went to some restaurant and I'm like, yo, you got to cancel the reservation. We couldn't cancel the reservation. It was like a little secret, little speakeasy, thing. And they were trying to surprise me. So I'm like, you got to cancel the reservation. And it was like, we kind of can't cancel the reservation. They have to cancel the reservation. And it was in Center City and it was packed and it was like a foot of snow outside. And you would have thought like you couldn't even, it's not that you couldn't see the snow, but everything was shoveled. Every sidewalk was salted. Everything was perfectly fine. And it was still snowing. So when you in certain parts of the city, it's not so bad. If you in other parts of the city, if you on a small street in the city, not off of Main Street, they ain't plowing, they ain't calling. It's up to you.
And you will get shot if you take somebody's parking spot.
At the very least, cursed out.
Yeah, at the very least.
Somebody's chair or they cone or something.
Or they cone.
Or
shopping cart.
Or shopping cart. Because we notorious. Whatever we can put in that spot. But also, where y'all going? Did y'all guys save these spots? Stay in the house.
Yeah. That's how it's been. A lot of people are just like, oh, we haven't left. We have not left our homes. So that's like my family. Shameless plug. I filmed the Upshaws, and all of my family is like contacting me. Now, normally when I do a show, my aunties see it, right? It's my aunties, my cousins from my generation and younger generation. And it's because everybody's just home. Everybody is home. Everybody is binging stuff. And I was just like, oh, y'all really are not going out. I haven't left my house in 3 days.
No.
I need to go out there. I am not going out there. That's how crazy it is. But I wonder what places got hit really bad, because the way for us in Cali, the way the news was reporting this storm, that's why I was just like, you guys are getting a blizzard of 96. Because
and to be honest, I didn't see, they actually downgraded it. They were like, oh, it's just going to be a winter storm. It's not going to be anything. And I was just like, why are people going crazy thinking that it's going to be some mega blizzard? I'm not even hearing it as a mega blizzard. It's substantial, but it's not anything like, again, I'm from Philadelphia. It snows every year and I've been through worse snow. And it's, we got a couple snow days, but it ain't the worst snow I saw. I went to the bar last night.
Yes, Arnold, let me tell you something. Everybody else is snowed in, not Arnold. Arnold is in these snowed in streets.
Well, because it's a bar in my neighborhood was just like, hey, just so y'all know, we open. We're going to be open until we no longer feel it's safe. And that was on Sunday. So I told you one of my friends who lives near me, she is a 3-year-old. And she was just like, listen, I got to get out. I got to get out of this house. I got to do something. And I said, okay. So I caught my little lift. I said, please meet me at the corner. Don't try to come down my block because I got places to go. Meet me on the main street. And places open. My job's not open. Actually, my job called yesterday and was just like, a lot of people call them out. You think you're going to make it? Because if we get too many no's, we're not even going to be able to open. I said, take mine as a no.
Well,
Take
yeah.
it.
Wait, y'all getting more snow this weekend, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well, Arnold, you're so busy going to the bar. You better go out and get some snacks.
I have snacks.
You're fully stocked.
I'm well here's the thing. I'm pretty stocked, but I also have leftovers because when I went out last night, I got dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as we done this call, I'm going right to my oven.
See, this is the thing. I told you, everybody snowed in but Arnold. And the thing about it is, the funniest thing about it is, he doesn't have snow stuff. So Arnold is out in the snow in all this designer.
No, that's not true. That's not true. I got my Uggs. And they like the good snow Uggs. They like the snow Uggs with the rubber sole. And I put on the North Face.
Oh, sure, Arnold. I need to see the fit.
I'll show you.
To see the fit. Oh my God. Well, I am glad that everybody is safe. I'm glad that it is not as bad as was predicted.
Projected, yeah.
Yeah, projected. And I'm glad that, at least some people who wanted a break was able to get a break.
Right.
It's been 80 degrees over here. So.
But again, we live here. We have a little bit of an infrastructure. Like, I don't really people in like so
say it again. You were breaking up.
I said, then again, like we live in the East Coast, we have a little bit of a structure for snow. I don't know how it's been for people in like Texas and Louisiana and stuff. And yeah,
Texas doesn't have it. It's always a nightmare every winter. And I'm just like, winter's new for Texas for some odd reason, because it is always a nightmare for them. Everything is breaking down. Everything is frozen solid.
Yeah.
But it's just, there is no care for Texas when it comes to a winter storm. And it's like, it's upsetting, but no shade expected from the leadership. So, but I'm glad that everybody is safe. I'm glad that everybody is fully stocked up on their snacks. And I pray that this storm that is coming this weekend, I pray that it is not
not so bad.
Yeah, not the blizzard of 96, because I was hoping that you guys would get it. My friends in my group chat cussed me out and said it's not fun when we're adults, Nikki. I was just thinking of, putting on my snowsuit, sledding, down Mount Airy Ave. But
wow.
They were
the kids are doing it.
Yeah, because I'm here. The adults were just like, no, Nikki.
Yeah.
You're having memories from childhood. This ain't it. Yeah. This is not it. Arnold is also here because we have to talk about the Beckhams. Arnold, who knew that we would be here? You know what? Hold on. I'm gonna hold off on the Beckhams. Before we get messy, let's keep it cute. Let's go down the messy meter. Before we get messy, let's talk about the Oscars.
Okay.
Let's talk about the Oscar nominations. What are your thoughts, Arnold?
I mean, to be honest, this year I didn't really see a lot of the nominated movies. I wasn't really checking for these movies, and I feel like it was a lot of indie or smaller productions, you know what I mean, that were nominated. And some of them I didn't really even hear of until maybe the Golden Globes. But it seems to be a solid lineup. As we all know, Sinners got 16 nominations, so more nominations than any other film.
Breaking.
And then the film this year and any other film in history, which is amazing. Like, I'm really happy for the success of Sinners. So I was really excited about that. I was more surprised by some of the snubs, though. Like, I'm so surprised that Wicked for Good didn't get anything.
Everybody was surprised that they were snubbed, but me. Here's the thing. Because the Oscars are snobs. And the only reason why they are giving any kind of musical, any kind of recognition is because of what happened with Dreamgirls. Dreamgirls and Jennifer Hudson winning, that was such a big deal. Just because the Oscars was even allowing a musical film to be considered with straight acting. They are really strict about what is considered the high profile acting that they want to award. So when Wicked was nominated last Oscars, I knew when I did a part two, I was just like, I hope I hope they're not expecting Oscar nods again for this musical film, because the Oscars is just like, we gave you your props. Now, if it was something different, if it was another musical movie, probably if it was like up to that level and has spent that much money. But I knew. And also when Variety started writing about how it's not as impactful as the first one, I already knew that was the Oscars doing their press. Not the Oscars, but I already knew that it was the industry doing its press and saying, yeah, we're not, this one isn't. I kind of knew like how it was being, the negative press that it was getting, how the movie was being reported. I just knew that this was the end of the road for them. And I knew that it wasn't going to be another Oscar nod.
I'm so surprised. I thought it got really good press and really good reviews, and I
Well, the
loved
press
it.
was with Cynthia and Ariana.
It
The
wasn't
press,
the movie.
yeah, when they were talking about how, on TikTok, this whole storyline blew up that they were like anorexia sisters. I know that's not the term, but it is a term that they use, and I can't think of the term. And
Yeah.
and then you had the fans crashing the premieres and Cynthia defending her, and it just turning into all this kind of spectacle. It was just the Oscars. They're they're the prim and poppers. They don't like all of that. You gotta really, because remember, do you remember when Monique won for Precious, and
Of
she was
course.
on saying to in her speech, she said, "I am so glad that the Oscar voters awarded me, even though I didn't play the game,
Yeah.
because when it's campaign season, you have to play the game. You have to be pristine. You can't be in no mess. You have to be the darling of award season." And I just Wicked was, the press was a little too ghetto for the Oscars.
Really?
Yeah,
I did not gather that. I thought it was just like a lot of press. I didn't even feel like it was mostly negative press. I
yeah.
just thought it got like a lot of, I mean, people make fun of them because they're Ariana and Cynthia are like a little weird with each other.
Hmm.
But I didn't feel like it was like much different press than the first one.
Yeah,
But I don't know. But I was just surprised that it didn't win, especially for like original song or something, since they added two original songs.
yeah.
Um, but otherwise, I was really happy with the nominations. A group of friends of mine and we try to see all the Best Picture nominations before the Oscars. Like when the nominations come out, we really try to make it a point to see them.
Hmm.
So we'll see. A couple of them I'm not really interested in seeing. Like I don't want to see one battle after another. I just don't think it's my type of movie.
Here's the thing. I'm going to see it because
One fetish after another.
it's so polarizing. It is so polarizing. So I'm just like, you know what? Let me just watch it so I can have my own opinion. But the our community is not happy that Tayana is getting awarded for this kind of film. So I'm just
Mhm.
like, I need to see what it is, because the way that people are talking about it, and listen, I get it. I get that people are just like, we want, as Black people, we want to get awarded for something else. They try to do the same thing with Lupita Nyong'o and just be like, oh, we want you to win this, but you're playing an enslaved African, and we don't want that. And I get it. I totally understand. Here's my thing as a Black actress: let this woman have her moment.
Mhm.
Just let her. I get it. I get it, my people. I understand. Let her have this moment. And then after award season, drop your opinions. Because right now, she's trying to bask in this moment that she's been chosen and put on this pedestal that not a lot of women who look like her get. And although you may have your opinions about the film and why she was awarded for this, don't drown out this joyous
The
time
accomplishment.
with the negativity. And listen, I understand people's opinions. I just feel like I want us to just get behind her and be like, listen, hey, if you like it, I love it. You know what I mean? You don't have to drop the think pieces just yet.
Right.
Let her get the award and get off the stage. And then be like, congrats, sister. Let's talk about how they portrayed this. Like, don't take it from her in that moment. But I understand, and I absolutely get it. We all wanted Halle Berry to win for something else. We all wanted Denzel to win for something else. They should have won for different movies. We get it. We understand. This is the industry that we are working in, and this is America.
This is so. America. What's your predictions? You have any predictions?
Yes. Let me. Oh, you know what? I actually have them here. Let me bring them up. Let's go through them. All righty. Oh, is it not showing up? Sorry, y'all. My computer is. No, it's not me this time. This is StreamYard. There. Oh my God. Why did they get rid of us? We were there for a second. Okay, for some reason it gets rid of us, but I'm just going to read it through, guys, and then I'll bring me and Arnold back. So this is the nominees for visual effects. We have Avatar, F1. I don't know why F1 is there. I feel like F1 was put there because it was just very popular. But not. I don't think the voting academy really watched F1, but I'll keep that to myself. Then we have Jurassic World, Rebirth, The Lost Bus, and Sinners. I think it's going to go to Avatar just because I don't think any other movie is using as much technology that James Cameron is using for Avatar. So I think the best visual effects award, Oscar, is going to go to Avatar. Then next up we have, if StreamYard could bring it up, nominees for film editing. Again, F1, I don't understand, but it is. Congrats. Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sentimental Value, and Sinners. I think it may go to One Battle After Another. I would love for it to go to Sinners, but I'm just not sure. But I think it's going to be One Battle After Another. Then we have.
You're doing every award. I thought we were doing the big five.
Oh, you want to do the big five? No, yeah. I was only doing the ones that Sinners was in.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think that Sinners is going to get sound, so we can move on from there. But I was only going to go over Sinners, the ones that Sinners are in. So I don't think. Here we go. Nominees for actor in a leading role. I don't know. I do not know. It's between Timothy and Michael B. Jordan, and everybody is saying it. The previous award shows predict the Oscars, and I keep on telling people, you can never predict the Oscars.
Right.
You can never predict the Oscars. Every year they come up with new rules and they add in more people. So it changed. The algorithm for the Oscars changes every season, every year. So you just can't predict. And although Timothée Chalamet won those other awards, even the BAFTAs, that is not conducive to what the Oscars is going to do. Also because each of voting, all of the voters for these award shows are extremely different. So we can't call what this is going to be. I feel like it could go to Timothy, but the way the Oscars have been going and the way they keep on, bringing in some diversity, I think it might be Michael's year. And that would be awesome. I would love it if that were the case. I'm not sure. I'm feeling like it could go in his favor just because the Oscar Voting Academy is extremely diverse now. Not as diverse as I think it could be, but I think that, Michael may get it. And also, the Oscars likes to award seniority. And Timothy is doing very great, but we've been with Michael B. Jordan since he was 14.
I
What?
mean, diversity aside, everyone has been pretty universally like he did an amazing job in Sinners. Like,
Yeah.
like people said and what didn't he play 3 characters?
Did he? Yeah. No, he played 2. He played 2 twins.
But didn't like one have a transformation or something?
Oh, he came back in the 80s. Wait, have you seen Sinners?
No.
Arnold, please. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
But people said that he did really great, and I think that it really is between those two. Like every award show that I've seen, it's been one of the two of them who were really the front runners, and one of the two of them won. I know Timothy's been taking it, but we'll see. Also, isn't this Timothy's 3rd nomination?
I think it's his 2nd, but I'm not sure. I don't really keep up with him. He doesn't do he hasn't done anything that I like will watch. Like a lot of his stuff is really, he's been working for that Oscar. I'll give him that. He's been booking a lot of Oscar films, but it's never been for me. The stuff that he's been in, but it's neck and neck. It's neck.
I know he did his little Bob Dylan movie, Call Me by Your Name. I actually love that. Was my real big introduction to him. Yeah. So yeah, I mean he's been working, but
he's been working. What's next? I think we want to get to actress, right? You know what? Something's going on with my StreamYard, so I'm gonna just. Here we go. Nominees for actress in a leading role: Jessie Buckley, Hamnet; Rose Byrne, If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You; Kate Hudson, Sue Sung Blue; Renee Ronsov, Sentimental Value; Emma Stone, Bugonia. They're definitely not going to give it to Emma because this will be her 3rd Oscar.
Yeah, like come on, give it a rest.
Yeah, it's either between Jessie Buckley or Rose Byrne.
Yes, it's between them. Like people are in love with those 2 performances this year.
But here's the thing: Rose Byrne has been around a while.
Mm-hmm.
So
and she did win the Golden Globe.
Yes, so this might be her year. This might be her year. So I'm gonna go with Rose Byrne for Best Actress, Michael B. Jordan for Best Actor. Nominees for directing: we have Chloe Zhao for Hamnet, Josh Safdie for Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Paul Thomas Anderson, Sentimental Value, Joachim Trier, Sinners, Ryan Coogler. Here's the thing: it should go to Ryan. It's going to go to Paul Thomas Anderson. Seniority.
Yeah, I was thinking. I think it should be Ryan though. Like if you directed the movie that has 16 nominations, like I think it should go to Ryan. Like you did something right.
The Oscars love seniority. You can campaign as much. Did y'all think that Jamie Lee Curtis was going to get a Best Supporting Actress Oscar?
No.
For a movie she was in for 5 minutes?
5 minutes. And I love that movie, but she was not the highlight of that movie.
Not only is Jamie Lee Curtis Hollywood royalty, like pedigree, she's also been acting in this industry since she was 17. They were like, we got to give it to her. I'm telling you, the Oscars loves a seniority award.
I actually felt like her coworker, her co-star,
she ate down. She
should have got it.
She acted her face.
She acted her ass off in that movie.
That was hers. But again,
that was hers.
Like you're a newbie. You have more time to get here again.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We did directing. I think this one was best picture. Now, best picture is Begonia, F1, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme. First of all, let me go back to Frankenstein. Guillermo del Toro, like he ate with Frankenstein. Frankenstein should have had more award nominations.
I think so, yeah.
Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, Sinners, Train Dreams. Now, here's the thing. I think that Best Picture is going to go to Sinners. And why I think Best Picture is going to go to Sinners, it's giving me La La Land and Moonlight. It's like yes, you're going to give it to Paul Thomas Anderson, PTA is what they call him, because that boy has been directing way longer than Ryan, right? But the movie that has made the most money out of all of those films that are being nominated, the movie that keeps on getting theatrical release, you can't deny its impact.
Right.
So it would be ridiculous to not give Sinners that award.
Right.
And also, it's the last award of the night, right? So it's like, you know why everybody, you nominated Sinners for 16 awards. You know why everybody is there. It's
you know everyone wants to see how far it can go. Yeah.
So I think that Sinners is going to get it. And I think that the Voting Academy will do that to satisfy everybody. And although Sinners is the best picture, in my opinion, but I think they're going to do that to be like, listen, we couldn't give him director, guys. We know y'all going to write about that, but we gave him best picture.
I will also give a dark horse to Hamnet. I've heard like amazing things about Hamnet.
I heard amazing things about Hamlet too, but I feel like the one battle after another, is between One Battle After Another
and Sinners. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where it is. Let's get to, so is this supporting actress? Yes. Nominees for actor in a supporting role: Benicio del Toro, One Battle After Another; Jacob Elordi, Frankenstein; Delroy Lindo, Sinners; Sean Penn, One Battle After Another; Stellan Skarsgård, Sentimental Value. Here is the thing. It should go to Benicio del Toro.
Love him.
I love me some Delroy Lindo. He may cause an upset because Delroy Lindo has a lot of seniority.
I think with this one, all these guys do, except for maybe Jacob Elordi, but like all these
they're not
guys
going to give Jacob for Frankenstein.
Right.
So for me, I feel like it's between Benicio, Delroy, and Sean Penn. But I don't know if Sean Penn I think Sean Penn did a great performance from what I've seen. I haven't seen the movie in full, but I just feel like he has such a bad boy presence. I don't know if that's going to be good for the Academy. But I feel like it's, for me, I think it's between Benicio and Delroy. Who do you think?
Honestly, I think this is a stacked again, I didn't see these performances, but I know all these actors. I know what all these actors are capable of. I think Sean Penn is like how many Oscars does he have? Multiple?
I don't think he has any.
No, he won for Milk.
I don't think he did.
He definitely has an Oscar. You looking it up?
Yes, I am. Oh, he has two, so they're not going to give it to Sean.
He has multiple.
Mystic River, and Milk. You are right.
Yeah.
He deserved that for Mystic River. I remember that. I cried like a baby watching that film. Is my daughter in there? He ate that. Oh, yeah. So
he's
Sean
an amazing actor.
Yeah, Sean is out. He's an amazing actor. He got an attitude problem, child. But he's out because Sean has two. It's either going to be Benicio or Delroy.
I think maybe Benicio del Toro.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was just an amazing actor. Like, I didn't even see him in this role, so I just think he's an amazing actor.
He can act his face off. Delroy deserves as well, but I just think that,
it wasn't his role.
I think the role was great. Delta Slim was great. We needed more of Delta Slim for them to consider him over Benicio. Nominees for casting. The reason why I want to talk about this is because I think this is going to go to Sinners. I think Sinners for me, I think it's between Sinners and One Battle After Another, because these are the only two casts that people are talking about. And this is also a new award. Casting is a new award.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't remember this.
And I think that's great to, recognize casting. However, we have to realize the casting agents, they should be recognized, but especially for a film, the one who really casts is the producer. That's like the casting agent can pick some people, but the producer brings the people that they want to come to this production, and says yay or nay about who is going to be in the film, even if the director pushes back. The producer is the money. So if we're going to get them producers up there, okay. But I like that they are recognizing casting because they should. It's it's a it's a it's a it's a thankless job and it should be recognized. Nominees for Best Original Screenplay: Blue Moon, It Was Just an Accident, Martin Supreme, Sentimental Value, Sinners. I think Ryan got this locked in. I think he has Sinners locked in for a win. If Sinners don't get any awards, it's going to get original screenplay. Because first of all, look at it. It's literally just him. He wrote Sinners by himself.
Oh,
it's such a critically acclaimed film. There's just no way. Oh, well, Blue Moon was written by Robert Kaplow as well, but it's such a critically acclaimed film. It is a financial juggernaut. He's at least going home with that one. Is this? I'm trying to get to Best Supporting Actress, and then we can get it, and then we can move on. I wish it would. I wish this would go to Ruth E. Carter. I think it's going to go to Frankenstein.
I think it's going to go to Frankenstein. From everything I've seen, Frankenstein's costumes were amazing.
But Ruth E. Carter 8.
Always.
8.
I felt like it could have gone to. I felt like Wicked could have been costumes too, but I digress.
Yeah. Wicked, in my opinion, should have at least gotten makeup and hairstyling.
Yeah.
You know what? Sinners also might win for original song. I'm surprised that Miles didn't get nominated for. Here we are for his song. Nominees for actress in a supporting role: Elle Fanning, Sentimental Value; Inga, Sentimental Value; Amy Madigan, Weapons; Wumi, Masaku, Sinners; Teyana Taylor, One Battle After Another. Everybody's saying it's going to go to Teyana. Here's the thing.
I feel like it's going to go to Amy Madigan.
Where you at? But they don't understand this game. Come on, Arnold.
I feel like it's going to go to Amy Madigan.
In this game, Amy has been in the game forever. And Amy was unrecognizable in Weapons. It wasn't until I saw her on the red carpet, I was like, oh, that's her? You did not know that was Amy Madigan. And Amy Madigan is a comedic actress, and she just has a lot of seniority in this business, a lot of friends in the voting academy, and she was unrecognizable as this character. Everybody's saying it's going to be Teyana because of how the other award shows have went. And I'm just like, you can never call the Oscars, baby. You can never call the Oscars. But I do think it's either going to be between Amy and Teyana. But I think Amy's going to pull it through. I'm just glad that Wumi got recognized because she deserves.
Yes.
So those are all my thoughts. Any final thoughts, Arnold? And then I want to get some Star Family comments.
No, I mean, I feel, again, I haven't seen a lot of these movies. I am going to try and see a bunch of them before the actual show, but it's always a surprise. I can't remember a time I watched the Oscars and all my predictions came true. I feel like the Oscars is unpredictable. You just never know.
You can never call the Oscars. They do their own thing. All right, y'all. Let's get messy. Let's get messy. As soon as StreamYard lets me bring this up, we're going to move over into the Beckhams. Arnold, can you give a little overview of the Beckham drama while I load our picks?
Okay. The background to it, or what happened last week?
The background, then what happened last week?
Okay, so Brooklyn Beckham, the oldest son of Victoria Beckham and David Beckham, he's married. He's married to a girl named Nicola PELTZ. They've been married since 2022, I believe. There just been a lot of rumors going around the internet that, well, there were a lot of rumors going around the internet that he wasn't speaking to his parents, that his parents didn't really get along with his wife. Eventually, you could see that he had unfollowed all his siblings and his parents on social media. Again, people were speculating that it was more because of his wife, that, his wife and his parents were feuding because, the Beckhams are a really tight knit family. They go everywhere as a family. They always doing their thing. But his brother started saying was a Cruz. It was Cruz, right?
I believe so. Hold on, let
Cruz
me.
started like popping off a little bit about Brooklyn, about his brother. But it just was what it was. People were speculating. They clearly weren't following each other. People knew it was a rift, but nobody was really speaking about it publicly. I think Cruz started dating or came to a public event with one of Brooklyn's ex-girlfriends or something. Which further added to the rift. But the real thing is last week, out of nowhere, unprompted, nothing really happened. Brooklyn popped off on the internet about his parents, basically saying that he never wants to speak to his parents again. He does not want to reconcile with his parents or his siblings for that matter. And he detailed why. And the why he claimed was that they're controlling. They do a whole narrative in the media and try to make it look like they're a perfect family. They don't get along with his wife. They embarrassed his wife and himself at their wedding. He alleged that Victoria danced inappropriately on him, which is so ridiculous. Danced extremely inappropriately with him at his wedding. She took over the first dance that was intended for him and his wife. She would just horrible, horrible stuff that he alleges happened. Now, people was at that wedding, so I'm sure they signed NDAs or whatever, but for you to make these kind of allegations, you're going to have to back it up. And also, where is all this coming from? Like, what in recent history prompted this? So the entire internet, kind of has just been buzzing and speculating and talking about what happened and the why. And we ain't really getting no answers because I don't think the Beckhams are talking. And if I was Brooklyn, I wouldn't talk anymore either. Like, you've said quite enough. But a lot of people say that they think that his wife is the problem. They say that she really is. She's hungry for fame. She, she kind of seems a little jealous of her mother-in-law. And that's not to discount Brooklyn's feelings. They're his parents. They not mine. They not nobody else's. He know what happened. But Nicola is from a very, very wealthy family. She's from a very mega billionaire family. And I think when you grow up with that kind of money, she obviously is in Hollywood. She's an actress, or so she claims. She's been in a couple movies, but she's not like a big star or a big actress. I think she is used to her money and the power that comes with her father's money getting her like a certain kind of acclaim and a center of the attention. But it's Victoria Beckham. It's David Beckham. You know what I mean? Like, you're richer than them, but you're not more famous than them. And I think that fame carries a little bit of capital. And I think that she really was leaning onto that capital. Also, it got a little messy because she used to date Anwar Hadid, and Anwar Hadid's sisters came out and said, "Oh, that girl want fame. Y'all need to watch out for her. She wants fame." It's also alleged, and I don't know where this came from or how anyone could prove this, that Anwar's mom, Yolanda, called up Victoria Beckham when they first started dating and was like, "Watch out for her." You know what I mean? She alienated my son away from us, and she's going to do it to y'all too. So I don't know how true that is. That's what's going around, but that's definitely what's happening. And off the rip, I'm gonna just say, I don't know, Nikki, we didn't get too big into it because we said that we was going to wait until this. But off the rip, I'm Team Beckham because fuck Nicola PELTZ and fuck her daddy. They seem like horrible, horrible people. And it's not to say that, they are famous. They have cultivated their image very, very meticulously over the past like 30 years or so. So yeah, she probably does want things a certain way. And yeah, she's a mom and that's her oldest son. So she probably did want the wedding a certain way. But I think at the end of the day, the problem is Nicola's feelings about her husband's mom, not the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Nicola wrote that statement.
Here's the thing. You know what? Before I even give my thoughts, let's get into the statement. There it is. Oh, are they not showing it? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wait, let me make. Is this the order?
No, this isn't the order.
Hold on. It's the first. Oh, that's the last one. I'm sorry. Let me bring up this one. This is the first one. There it is. All right. So this is the first statement. No, that's not. You know what? I'm just going to read it from here. StreamYard is pissing me off. So I'm just going to read it from here because I'm sick of them. So here's the thing. This is what Brooklyn says. He wrote this on his Instagram story. He says, I have been... You see me? Thumbs up. You can see me and hear me? Yeah. Amen. Okay, he says, I have been silent for years and made every effort to keep these matters private. Unfortunately, my parents and their team have continued to go to the press, leaving me with no choice but to speak for myself and tell my truth about only some of the lies that have been printed. I do not want to reconcile with my family. I'm not being controlled. I'm standing up for myself for the first time in my life. For my entire life, my parents have controlled narratives in the press about our family. The performative social media posts, family events, and inauthentic relationships have been a fixture of the life I was born into. Recently, I have seen with my own eyes the lengths that they'll go to place countless lies in the media, mostly at the expense of innocent people to preserve their own facade. But I believe the truth always comes out. My parents have been endlessly, this is the one right here, have been trying endlessly to ruin my relationship since before my wedding, and it hasn't stopped. My mom canceled making Nicola's dress in the 11th hour, despite how excited she was to wear her design, forcing her to urgently find a new dress weeks before our big day. My parents repeatedly pressured and attempted to bribe me into signing away the rights to my name, which would have affected me, my wife, and our future children. They were adamant on me signing before my wedding date because then the terms of the deal would be initiated. My holdout affected the payday, and they have never treated me the same since. During the wedding planning, my mom went so far as to call me evil because Nicola and I chose to include my nanny, Sandra, and Nicola's noni at our table because they both didn't have their husbands. Both of our parents had their own tables equally adjacent to ours. The night before our wedding, members of my family told me that Nicola was not blood and not family. Since the moment I started standing up for myself with my family, I've received endless attacks from my parents, both privately and publicly, that were sent to the press on their orders. Even my brothers were sent to attack me on social media before they ultimately blocked me out of nowhere this last summer. My mom hijacked my first dance with my wife, which had been planned weeks in advance, to a romantic love song in front of our 500 wedding guests. Mark Anthony. Mark Anthony, why is he in this match?
Why am I in it? You ain't have to say the man's name.
Mark Anthony called me to the stage wherein the schedule was planned to be my romantic dance with my wife, but instead my mom was waiting to dance with me instead. She danced very inappropriately on me in front of everyone. I'd never felt more uncomfortable or humiliated in my entire life. We wanted to renew our vows so we could create new memories of our wedding day that brings us joy and happiness, not anxiety and embarrassment. My wife has been consistently disrespected by my family. No matter how hard we tried to come together as one, my mom has repeatedly invited women from my past into our lives in ways that were clearly intended to make us both uncomfortable. Despite this, we still traveled to London for my dad's birthday and were rejected for a week as we waited in our hotel room trying to plan our quality time with him. He refused all of our attempts unless it was at his big birthday party with 100 guests and cameras at every corner. When he finally agreed to see me, it was under the condition that Nicola wasn't invited. It was a slap in the face. Later, when my family traveled to LA, they refused to see me at all. My family values public promotion and endorsements above all else. Brand Beckham comes first. Family love is decided by how much you post on social media or how quickly you drop everything to show up and pose for a family photo op, even if it's at the expense of our professional obligations. We've gone out of our way for years to show up and support at each fashion show, every party, and every press activity to show our perfect family. But the one time my wife asked for my mom's support to save displaced dogs, this is too rich for me.
This is rich white mess.
During the LA fires, we will get into this. My mom refused. The narrative that my wife controls me is completely. I grew up with overwhelming anxiety for the first time in my life. Since stepping away from my family, that anxiety has disappeared. I wake up every morning grateful for the life I chose and have found peace and relief. My wife and I do not want a life shaped by the image, press, or manipulation. All we want is peace, privacy, and happiness for us and our future family. Huh?
Lies. I said lies.
Oh, lies. I will say this first. For those of us who are dinosaurs, to go from when Victoria was pregnant with this baby, her and David announced this pregnancy on the Brooklyn Bridge. To go from that iconic moment to here is crazy. And I was just like, why is this happening? Why is this coming out? Like, I didn't hear anything about them recently, like fighting or anything. So what is the big deal? Like, why all of a sudden did he decide to post this? And what I think happened is, I think Victoria just got honored or somewhere. Like, you know what I'm talking about, Arnold? And fashion, she got some kind of award. And I think because this is, the fashion season or whatever, Nicola wanted to be a part of all of this. And her invite is the Beckhams. And because Victoria was probably just like, I don't want that girl nowhere next to my stuff, I think that caused this. Nicola probably went to her husband and was just like, your mom is like blocking me from being invited to all of the fashion stuff going on and blocking me from red carpets. This is not fair. And Brooklyn probably came in to save the day. What are your thoughts?
I mean, Nicola, your only connection to red carpets and stuff is because you're married to Victoria Beckham's son. You're famous because you're, in Hollywood, but you're not an A-list actor. You're not a top model. You're not technically in fashion. You just are a rich girl. And you're married to rich people's son, and to be honest, that's your claim to fame. This is what I mean. Like, I'm sure in her mind, that's not her claim to fame. She's Nelson PELTZ's daughter, and that holds a lot of weight. You know what I mean? Like, she's wealthy. Her mom is like a socialite. They're from, they live in Palm Beach, and they've connected to a lot of very powerful rich people, Donald Trump, Jeffrey Epstein, all of them. So yeah, I'm sure
it's not going to let you forget that they are Trumpers.
Yeah, they're Trumpers, and like the bad ones too, who tried to do a hostile takeover of Disney to make it more conservative. So that is her connection. So you got to get in where you fit in. You know what I mean? If you are going to be Mrs. Beckham, you got to play nice with the Beckhams. But in a weird turn, he changed his name to PELTZ.
Mm-hmm.
He's Brooklyn PELTZ. That's how he goes. And Brooklyn don't have a job. Brooklyn don't have a job. Brooklyn don't do nothing. Brooklyn is trying to find his career. He wanted to be he wasn't really good at soccer like his dad. He wanted to be a photographer at one point. He is trying to be a chef and lifestyle influencer, and he and Nicola had a house and they sold their house and they wound up moving to her parents' estate. So, like, you went from living off your very wealthy and famous parents to moving in and living off your wealthy in laws in Palm Beach. And you took their last name. What are you doing? It doesn't seem like you're an independent man with a brand of your own. You seem like you're doing whatever your wife wants you to do.
Mm-hmm.
However you feel about your parents, that's just what you're doing. And like, why? Yeah. And listen, we don't know their family. We don't know the dynamics, what's going on with him and his parents. But if you were really going at it on your own and it was you and her, y'all be like, listen, we grown. We going forward our own way. And she's like, no, we got to stay by daddy's hip. And that's what they're doing. So, like, get the fuck out of here. If you want to be in fashion, if you want to be famous, if you want to be in Hollywood and going to all the parties and stuff, you're going as Brooklyn Beckham's wife, Victoria and David Beckham's daughter-in-law. And if you're not going to do that, then you're not going to be in those spaces. So don't be, don't be mad.
So here's my take on this. I'm going to start with the Beckhams first. One thing I will say about this is that British, at least so far, British white men will leave their families for their wife. Them British white boys do not play about their wives. They will throw the family money, name, crest, everything away for some American coochie. They do not play about them American wives. I'm just like, maybe I'm single because I'm in the wrong pond. I need to take my behind over to the UK. Anyway, here's what I would say about them. The Beckhams are a very well-known family. Like, they have been famous since our whole lives, okay?
Yeah.
So they are a juggernaut, not just in the UK, but in the USA, global as well. But the American market is where you want to eat. And they have been able to be successful as celebrities for decades globally, right? So they have a kind of star power that a lot of people want. Then we have this Nicola girl whose father has been trying to make her a star since she was a child. And unfortunately, the talent is not there because he has not yet been able to financially convince anybody in Hollywood that this is the next Julia Roberts. Like, he just has not been able to do it. So she's been struggling really hard because her daddy can buy her everything. He can't buy her fame. He can't buy her an acting career. So what is the next best thing? If your dad's money can't open up the doors, the next best thing is to get with somebody who is a legitimate celebrity. And although Brooklyn isn't a celebrity like his parents, Brooklyn has been famous since he was in his mother's womb. Mm-hmm. So that is, he has been grandfathered into being a celebrity. Unfortunately, he never wanted that life. So he's always struggled with the spotlight, and they've always tried to give him something because he just has not been able to find his way. Like you talked about the photography, the chef stuff, everything he's been, the fashion designer at one point, everything that he has been trying to do, his family supported it because this is somebody who has been, like I said before, famous since he was in his mother's womb. Unfortunately for him, he never wanted that. And I think the issue with the family is the fact that the family, this is like the White Jacksons. No, seriously. He said, I don't want to be Michael. I don't want to be Tito. I don't want to be none of them. I don't want to be in the spotlight. And the Beckham said, that's not an option. You can't like just disappear. You can't be regular. We are a brand at this point. That's why they were trying to get him to sign away his name so that they can still profit off his name as a family, because they're not just celebrities, they are a brand. The problem is Nicola doesn't fit the brand because she is somebody who the audience just does not gravitate to. Celebrity just doesn't sit on her. For some reason, she can't stick. And she's been trying for so long for it to stick and it doesn't work out. I absolutely believe that Yolanda called Victoria and was just like, she has been trying to scam her way by way of her vagina into fame, and it hasn't worked over here. So just a heads up, she's coming for your boy. And she was able to get Brooklyn because he has been struggling since he was a child to find his footing. And he got somebody who will listen to him, who will tell him he's right, who will do whatever she needs to do to convince him that he is on her side so that she could get that celebrity stamp of approval. However, the issue is his mama had already clocked her because she got a warning from another mama. So she's not able to come in the way she wanted with this family because they've always been on guard, especially Victoria. And if the matriarch don't like you, it ain't gonna happen. So the issue is that Victoria does not want, although he's married to Nicola, she'll support it. She don't want Nicola to be a part of the brand. And Nicola wants to be a part of the brand. So she's leaning on her husband, forcing him to make her a part of the family's brand. And I guess this Nicola being blocked out or whatever fashion stuff Victoria has gone on was the last straw. So that's why he did that, because he can't force his family to accept her into the brand. So he's going to embarrass them and shame them in hopes that the shame and embarrassment will force them to accept Nicola.
I don't think that I don't think that he's trying to get. I think that that's done. I think it wasn't happening, and he just is resolved that it's not going to happen.
He's having a rich boy temper tantrum.
He's having a rich boy temper tantrum.
He's never had to be an adult. His family has always stepped in. His parents have always stepped in, and now he got a wife that steps in.
Yeah.
So he's never had to be an adult. Everybody just babies him. She probably, stuffs him full of Xanax and locks him in a door while she takes selfies of herself and posts them on Instagram.
Yeah. By all accounts, though, she is not pleasant. Like, I've been reading stuff about, and this is before this, it just kind of came back out that she's like kind of difficult to work with. Even for the wedding, they had like, they went through a bunch of wedding planners. Her father sued the wedding planners. People said she was a nightmare. A hairdresser a couple of years ago, before she even like got with Brooklyn, was saying how mean she was, how difficult she was to work with, and she wasn't even like an A-list actress to be acting the way that she was. There's reports about the staff at their houses, like nannies and housekeepers, said that she was really mean and stuff. So I think this little girl is probably a bitch because her parents are. So
I will say, I got to be honest with you, I am actually shocked that this wealthy white woman, who is pretty, she's a pretty white woman,
she's pretty,
has not been able to make it. Like, she is a billionaire's child, and her father literally tried to buy Hollywood to make her a star, and it has not happened. So I'm like, you either have to be a terrible actress or really just a terrible person overall for Hollywood to tell your dad, keep your money, we don't want her.
I mean, again, she either doesn't have the talent or the temperament for it. Like, people just don't seem to like her. So
yeah, she cannot make it work. She tried to go through it this way, and it has not worked. And this hit job that Brooklyn tried to do on his family by way of Nicola did not hurt his family one bit, because everybody sided with the Beckhams.
Yeah.
It's just
I do think it's interesting if you think of, they really are globally famous. We're American, so I don't even think that we get quite the scope of how big a football star David Beckham was. Yep. So in Europe and in the UK, they actually do have a kind of different view of them. And they're like, oh, they're a little shocked at how much Americans like them because they're like, well, we do think that she's like pretty into the press. And we actually do believe that she really controls the press narrative. And we, we've seen her around and she likes to show her kids off. And they do like to present as a perfect family unit. So I'm not discounting that part from Brooklyn. And that's his experience, and he done lived his life forever and he may be tired of it. But that's not to say that he probably is also being influenced by his wife. And he also is throwing a rich boy tantrum because even though you moved out of your, you had these wealthy parents and they're wealthy and you just left them and now you're living with her parents who are even more wealthy. So like you're not going at it on your own and you can't tell us that you want privacy when you going back and forth with your brothers online and now you don't come online to talk all this shit about your family. You could have kept it private and we would have not known. You would just be up in Palm Beach at her daddy's house.
I also think it's not working in his favor because Nicola's father is so hated, right?
Yeah.
He's the one who tried to buy Disney and do a whole takeover and remove DEI. He was the one who quoted and said that Disney is too woke. And now it's come out that he did a whole interview about how he was the one that introduced Trump. He had a dinner and he had Elon Musk court Trump.
Yeah.
So it's just like your father is not well liked. Your name is not well liked. Then you're going after somebody who a lot of us grew up with being a celebrity. She got more years in the game. So people are going to naturally gravitate to her. At the end of the day, it's just a spoiled rich kid voicing his honest opinions about his family. I do also think that there's manipulation from the wife, but I also think this is a kid that just, unfortunately for him, he did not want to be famous, but he grew up in a very famous family and fame is their brand. So he had to show up even when he didn't want to. He had to play football. Your dad is David Beckham. How are you not going to do that? He had to do it. And then he wasn't good at it. And then that shame sets in. And so then he's trying to find something to make a name for himself outside of the Beckhams. But baby, that's just impossible. Your family is a global brand.
Yeah. And you change your name to her name, but why would you want to take her name? Her name is trash. So
to appease her, because now she not only has the PELTZ, which is the billionaire, but she got the Beckham, which is the fame. And we've always talked about this, Star family. Money means nothing if nobody knows you got it. And these rich people will do anything to be famous. Here we are. That poor baby. Oh my God. The baby that comes from this drama.
Oh my God. I know they're going to have a baby soon.
Ooh, she's absolutely going to get pregnant. She got to.
Yeah. That'll change the whole narrative.
Well, that'll change the whole narrative. And she is going to make sure to put a picture of Victoria holding a baby on her Instagram. Victoria's going to hate it, but
it's going to be the first.
Boy moms.
Yeah.
Boy moms. All right. That's it for the Beckhams. Let's move on to... Oh, this is going to be too funny.
It was Romeo, I think, that he was beefing with. Romeo. I think that's the second one.
That's the black. Because Romeo don't play about their mother. And he's the middle child. So he's
the middle.
He don't play about their mama. Anyway, let's move on to J-Lo and the GLAMBOT drama. So
yeah, you take this because I don't know about this.
I'll break this down. So J-Lo, her GLAMBOT at the I believe the Golden Globes wasn't that great. It was, it went viral because this was the first time that J-Lo has ever looked old. And I'm like, J-Lo's in her 50s, guys. That's a good 50. That's a good, I think like 54 or whatever. This is a good, 50s or whatever. But everybody was just saying, oh, this first time that J-Lo didn't look good. And this is the photo that everybody is saying, the GLAMBOT still, that everybody is saying she doesn't look great. And I'm like, you're kidding me. So because this GLAMBOT still went viral. Everybody made up this. It was a narrative was made up that JLo and the GLAMBOT guy didn't get along, so that's why he showed an unedited GLAMBOT video of her. And here is the video that people are alleging shows
unedited.
That's it. It is, and that, in my opinion, is still, well, you know what? I won't say it's unedited because he has never admitted that. But people were just like, we've never seen a wrinkle on JLo, and it takes for the GLAMBOT to do it for us to see a wrinkle on JLo. I don't think that was a bad video, but here we are. So here is the video of JLo and the GLAMBOT guy, and you guys can see for yourself. I'll save my thoughts.
Yeah, right in the star right there. Do we have an idea of a move? We're just going to give a little look or a pose, a little turn. Perfect, great. Camera's going to end right here. We're in a high push wrap. High push is fine. High push is fine. So end right here. It's going to start at the top. 3, 2, 1, action. You go. Give us 1 second. All right, ready. And 3, 2, 1, action. Yeah, slayed it as usual. Thank you so much. Thanks, guys. Real quick, just a fashion photo.
The video was stopping for me. Did it play for you, Arnold?
No, it was like no. Okay, now it is.
Hold on, let me take it back.
Lovely to see you again. You look amazing. Yeah, right in the star right there. Do we have an idea of a move? We're just going to give a little look or a pose.
All right, I'm going to add it to the stage again and see.
We're in a high push wrap. High push is fine. High push is fine. So end right here. It's going to start at the top. 3, 2, 1, action. You go. Give us 1 second. All right, ready.
It's not showing for me. Hold on. I'll try this one more time. I think I might have to reload my page, and I'll see.
Yeah, slayed it as usual. Thank you so much. Thanks, guys. Real quick, just a fashion photo.
Darn it. Hold on, guys. I'm going to have to reload this because I have other videos that I want you guys to see. So hold on. Let me reload. This is going to be an issue.
I wish I had something to add, y'all. I don't really know much about this. I know about GLAMBOT's other drama. I don't really know about anything with JLo. Because again, I wasn't checking for the Golden Globes. I'm sorry.
Thank you so much, Arnold. Holding it down. All right, I want to try the video one more time. If it doesn't work, I'll just talk to you. I'll talk about it to you guys, and we'll just go from there. But I think this time it should work.
Hi, my dear. Lovely to see you again. You look amazing. Yeah, right in the star right there. Do we have an idea of a move? We're just going to give a little look or a pose, a little turn. Perfect, great. Camera's going to end right here. We're in a high push wrap. High push is fine. High push is fine. So end right here. It's going to start at the top. 3, 2, 1, action. You go. Give us 1 second. All right, ready. And 3, 2, 1, action. Yeah, slayed it as usual. Thank you so much. Thanks, guys. Real quick, just a fashion photo.
Okay, so that was the interaction, and everybody was just like, Jayla was so rude to him. That's why he did her GLAMBOT like that. First of all, for me, I didn't think the GLAMBOT looked bad. I did not think that JLo was rude to him at all. I didn't see this narrative that people were making about her.
I didn't either. I was
JLo
like,
has
they
been
just
a lot of bad press because of her attitude allegedly throughout the years. I say alleged because I've heard some things, I've never experienced it. But everybody is saying she has a really, really bad attitude. And I think because a lot of people don't like her, every little thing that she does becomes an issue or a problem. And for whatever reason, the people who have those experiences with her, I'm not denying them. I'm just saying the people who saw her being rude to that guy don't like that lady because I'm like, I listen. She's not a Beyonce for me, but I'm just like, I don't think that she was being rude at all. If anything, those red carpets are so quick. She showed up late. You know, you see her publicist pulling her, trying to get her to go to the next thing. Paparazzi is screaming. Those red carpets are very chaotic and ghetto. Because if those cameras pulled out and showed you that raggedy streak that they're on in Hollywood, you would not be hyped about it. So there's a lot going on. It looked to me just like business as usual. I did not think that her GLAMBOT was bad. I didn't think that she was rude to him with that interaction. I just think the people who do not like her just were blowing this way out of proportion. What are your thoughts, Arnold?
Yeah, I didn't think that was an unusual interaction.
Yeah.
Either. She didn't seem rude. He seemed polite. They did a very quick interaction, and I thought she looked good in the picture. I don't know what the deal is.
Well, a lot of it. Praise the Lord, I'm on live.
Oh my God.
The case against him.
I'm going.
The wedding planner.
I'm going to get to the wedding and the GLAMBOT.
Okay.
I'm building up.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. So anyway, this became such a big deal that he then had to make a video about it. And so here is his response to all of the drama with people saying that JLo was being mean to him and slighting him.
Get asked all the time, who was the worst GLAMBOT? Who was the meanest? Who was the rudest? And honestly, everybody on the internet needs to just calm down. Now, I'm not here to tell anybody how they should feel, but there was only one other person outside of JLo that was in that conversation, and that person was me. These are some things that I've actually wanted to say for a while, but there's never really been a chance to sort of like talk about the world at which the GLAMBOTs exist. But now, I guess, is a great time to talk about what it's like on the carpet. The first thing to know about doing GLAMBOTs is that GLAMBOTs are completely elective. Nobody's forcing you to do these things. If you want to do it, you can. If you're in a bad attitude, you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. So anybody that stops, I already like you because you're taking the time to do my thing. And this is generous of you, because you don't have to do it. 2, red carpets are so insane. All of the celebs are like getting ushered to like, hey, do this thing, do this thing, do this thing. As you're walking in between stuff, people are screaming at you. It's just a really crazy environment. So when people land on the GLAMBOT, like sometimes they don't know what they're walking up to, you know what I mean? And I'm not just talking about like JLo here. I'm talking about a ton of celebrities in the past that sort of like land and they're like kind of like a little like, what's going on? It's just because it's just so crazy. The third thing. These celebrities, they're at work. They're there to do a thing, to promote their show, to be a guest, to be a presenter. They're working. So some people, chatty at work. Some people, not so chatty at work. And it's not really my place to be like, oh, you should be a certain way. I'm just sort of like reacting in those moments and giving people the best chance to do their best GLAMBOT that they can. So with that world set, I do get asked all the time, who was the worst GLAMBOT? And honestly, I don't have an answer. I mean, literally, I've never felt that people were like rude to me in that moment. The world is just so crazy that like when people are distracted or like less chatty or like thinking about other stuff, I don't take it personally. And even with JLo, like I didn't take it personally. I didn't feel rude in that moment. I think there's a couple things that sort of like added to the fuel of this idea. One, like she's just down to business. The carpet was closed. She's ready to go inside. she knew what she was going to do. You know, she got into the position, and I think it was just like unfortunate that the position was she was facing away from me. So I am talking to her. She is looking away, but she's getting ready for the move. And in the moment, I'm not like, hey, like turn around and look. Like I knew what she was doing. She was getting ready. I knew she was getting ready. I knew it was late. We were just like getting through it. That moment didn't feel rude. Another one people talk about is Cara Delevingne a couple years ago at the Oscars, and like people were like commenting like, oh, she's so rude, but like I thought she was super sweet.
So he just basically just goes on to say basically that nobody has been rude. He loves it. He's not going to say that people are rude or mean to him if it ever happened, right? Because he has a contract with these award shows. So he's not going to mess up his coin. But I do agree with his interpretation of the interaction with J-Lo. Here's the thing. Because he did not give the people what they wanted, everybody started finding his business and spreading his tea. So I don't know where this came from, but out of nowhere, emails that he had with a Nigerian woman who was getting married, she wrote to him and asked him in an email if he does weddings. And he said, yes, I do do weddings. Can you afford it? Basically just saying, you know, the interactions looked as if, one, he didn't want to do it because I think it looks as if he saw her profile image, which showed who she is, a Black woman. And it seemed as if he assumed for some reason that she couldn't afford it. And if you saw her wedding, she absolutely could afford it. But his response to her was so nasty. So that started going viral. And then we had a gentleman on Threads who posted about his interaction with him and shared his email, and he basically was saying the same thing happened to me with him, and this is the GLAMBOT guy, Cole Walliser, and he says, can we book you for a wedding? And Cole said, hey dude, I mean you can, but there's a reason, there's a reason GLAMBOT is only at the Oscars, the Grammys, and the Golden Globes.
He said, bitch, can you afford me?
He said, I'm sick of these peasants acting like I'm on their level. I will say this, Cole, this response it wasn't the best.
I thought it was really rude to the woman who was inquiring about the wedding, because he never quoted her a price. He just told her, oh, it's really expensive. And she said, oh, I assume so. So let me know your rates and we'll proceed from there. And he basically just kept telling her, oh, I don't even know if you want to proceed because you're not even going to be able to afford it. But he never said it's this much and she declined or anything. He just would not go with her. And she was like,
well, you know. He did say this. He said it's anywhere from 10 to, I think.
He said it's anywhere from 10,000 to $1 million. Can you afford it?
And she said, yeah.
He said, yeah. Yeah. She said, I assume so. I set a budget aside for it. So let me know how much it is and we'll proceed. And he just wouldn't proceed with her.
Yeah.
So I felt like that was a little rude, because either you're going to be like, here's my rate, and she'll say yes or no, and y'all keep it moving.
Yeah.
You playing games with her, and it just was unnecessary.
Here's what I think actually happened, because it just didn't look well in his favor that he came at that sister like this. But I think this worked well for him, because Roman is a white guy, right? And he said, I got the same interaction from him. And what it appears to me, Cole, to be is that, yes, the GLAMBOT can come to a wedding. You don't want the GLAMBOT to come to a wedding. You want the GLAMBOT to stay at award shows. You want the GLAMBOT to keep the award prestige. But here is the thing, Cole. The world is always changing. And there may come a time where nobody wants GLAMBOTs at the award shows. And you're going to be looking at them people who wanted you for a wedding.
You're going to be wanting to do it at weddings and events, yeah.
I'm just like, you cannot piss on potential customers, because I think that he is probably looking at it like that'll taint the brand if it becomes accessible. Because that is a big thing out here in Hollywood. They do in the entertainment industry. They do a lot of extravagant things because they don't like the masses to have access to what they do. They like feeling above it all. And so I think he wants to stay in that networking space. But baby, the world is changing and this industry is changing rapidly. These award shows might not even be around. The Oscars is going to be on YouTube. My God,
I don't even understand. I read that. I don't even understand what that means. Like, we're going to, what do you mean?
2029, the Oscars are going to be on YouTube.
Like, we're just going to be watching it on YouTube? Like, yep. I don't even get it. But
yeah, okay. This is the thing. Like, Hollywood is not what it used to be. So I'm just like, if I were him, I would have been like, absolutely getting wedding customers, because you just never know. You want to make sure that you have several streams of income if that goes away. And if that goes away, nobody's going to want to book you for the wedding because you're nasty and mean. You think that the poorest can't afford you. Not a good look, Cole.
I mean, and maybe they can't. Services are expensive, but you got to just say, this is my rate. And if they can afford it, then, you know.
And here's the thing. He says that he hired a team of people to do the GLAMBOT. You need to hire a team to handle your emails, because you're not the person for
that. That actually took me out too, because it's like, is really just you replying to people like this?
You should not be the one handling those emails. All right, moving on. What the hell? There it is. Let's get, you know what? Let's get to this. Let's get this, because I know you have some thoughts. Let's get to this. Sorry, guys. The computer's acting up again. Talk amongst yourself. Rhode Island is neither a road or an island. Discuss. Arnold, I might have to go out again. And you might have to you might have to run the show without me.
What are you trying to do?
So I have a whole thing of pictures over here on this side, and I'm trying to click on them, but I can't. Everything on this side is frozen.
We don't need the pictures. Everybody know who KARAMO and the Fab Five are. We got it.
I think it helps. So recently, KARAMO and the Queer Eye cast were supposed to be doing press because it's Queer Eye 10 years, right, Arnold? They've been on TV for 10 years.
Something like that. It's a big season, or even just a new season is. I think it's more than 10, to be honest. I think it's more than 10 seasons.
No, I think this is their 10th season.
Oh, so this is their 10th. Okay.
Feel that this show with gay men has been on air for 10 seasons. So they have been.
Sorry, y'all. Helicopter or something. I don't know.
Listen, they're used to it with me. Okay. So they have been going around doing. Supposedly, the cast and crew was supposed to be going around doing press for this, monumental season, but KARAMO was nowhere to be found. And he wasn't anywhere to be found because this is just alleged. Allegedly, while they were doing press for their first sit-down interview, KARAMO's mother heard on a hot mic the cast. This is so petty. The cast talking about, and they won't name who, the cast talking about KARAMO's filler.
No, it was Tan and it was Tan and
Tan, wait, you got more tea than me. Yeah. You got more tea than me. You tell it.
It was Tan, Anthony, and Jonathan Van Ness. Who we're talking about him, and he didn't hear it. His mom heard it. So they went to do press. They were on whatever morning show Gayle King does. Well, no, it wasn't Gayle.
It was before that.
It was Savannah and Chanel Jones, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And they were like, he's not here, and he said it's because of mental distress. Basically, like he put it out there. He didn't just not
You know
come.
what?
He said,
I actually have the video. Hold on, let me bring that up. But keep on going while I bring up the video.
basically he said, I'm not going to appear with them, and this is why. It's my therapist has advised that I'm not around these people because of emotional distress. Then it came out what the emotional distress was, and he's made statements saying like, yeah, you know, I don't want to be around them, and I wasn't going to do, you know, press with them. So apparently he doesn't speak to JVN or Anthony or Tan, but he does speak to Jeremiah, who is a newer cast member who only came, I think he's been there for, this is probably his third season, I think. And he came after Bobby left amid other very similar allegations that he wasn't getting along with the guys. So it kind of makes it seem like, you know, those guys are the problem or hard to get along with, or they like team up with, you know, against people. That's what it kind of seemed like. Which I believe. I mean, they're like,
Yeah,
catty gay guys. I'm just surprised that KARAMO is still doing this show, though.
Why? Because he has his TV show.
Yeah,
I
figure like eventually he would just be like, "This is what I'm doing now."
But is he making a lot of money with that TV show? Like he got to be on. He has to be on for a couple years for the really moolah to start rolling in.
It's been on for a couple years, and between me and you, I don't really know KARAMO's purpose on the show. Like he's not a
what's his purpose?
He's like the emotional, like one does the hair, one does the clothes, one does your house, one does your cooking and stuff.
Oh God, he's a magical Negro.
Well, I guess, but but no, it's more like JVN is a hairstylist. Tan is a wardrobe stylist. Anthony is like they actually have expertise in these professions. I don't think KARAMO is a therapist or a life coach or anything. That's why I'm like, how did they come to him cast in this role? Like he's not, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's not saying that he's not good at it. It's just like, how did he get the role? Like, what is his real role? Whereas like, yeah, JVN is going to cut your hair because he's a stylist.
Ciao.
I actually haven't watched this show in so long, probably since they came to Philly.
Yeah, that was my last time too. My God, today we stopped watching one episode and that was it.
Yeah. And for no reason, like it's not that I dislike it. It's just I just didn't keep up with it.
Arnold, we're gonna need you to go at it by yourself yet again. I gotta step out. This will be my last time.
Okay.
I gotta step out. Have your way, Arnold. Have your way. This is so ghetto. I'm gonna get it together though.
You said last time you was over StreamYard. Like we gotta pull it together. And look, I was talking shit. I said she don't need the pictures, and now this picture of KARAMO is stuck up here. So wait. Okay, yeah, the picture of KARAMO is stuck up there. Okay, now we can see everybody else. Yeah, I mean, it's just more Hollywood mess. While Nikki's not here, quiet as it's kept, we can be done with the Fab Five. I don't really need it. I don't really know who's still watching it. It was great when it came out, but to be honest, it never really compared to the original Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. To me, do y'all remember that first one, Queer Eye, with Carson Creasley and Kyan and all of them? Like, I loved that, and that was like it was so revolutionary at the time. The second one, the little reboot, was cute for the first couple seasons, but it just is not doing it for me. So I'm not surprised that they don't really get along. I mean, at the end of the day, we expected these celebrities or these people on these shows to all be best friends. And I think that is kind of the premise of this show, that they're all friends and they travel around to all these cities together and they're helping these guys and they're doing all this stuff and they're changing these lives. These people are co-workers. They don't like each other all the time. They don't have to like each other. They just got to get along and make it work. And right now, they are not making it work because it's an odd man out. I'm not mad at KARAMO for this. because it's his way to really control the narrative. But at the same time, KARAMO could have just been like, I don't fuck with y'all. I don't want to speak to y'all. I don't want to be friends with y'all. But it's part of my job to do press with y'all and to be fake and put on this illusion that we're all friends and we're all a family while the show is still running. I think this was a little bit of a misstep because now we all gonna be watching the show knowing that what we watching is fake because these guys do not really get along. I think that he could have done this and then just been like, this is my last season, and then write a whole memoir about it or something. I think this taints the show a little bit. I do think that it's going to get people watching the show. I think that it's going to bring some people back to the show. And that's probably a big reason, you know, that could work out in everybody's favor if everybody's like, what's going on with the Queer Eye boys? And they all really, really want to tune in this season just to see what happens or to see if anything is going to happen. I think that could work for them. But yeah, I think KARAMO could have just been like, yeah, we're going to keep it professional, but we're not going to be friends. He also could have done it without having to tell. He could have said it to them without telling Chanel and Savannah and them. Like, he could have just been like, oh, I'm sick and I can't do press with them. But he wrote a very intentional letter putting them all on blast and got the therapist involved. So you couldn't even argue with it. So the bosses couldn't even argue with it. It's for his mental health. So kudos to him for playing the game. But I think that he could have done this after the season. I mean, write in the comments and let us know what you think while Nikki looks for her pictures. And we still got topics to go on too. So I don't know how much more she want to talk about this. I mean, she's not going to watch it this season and neither am I. So we can move right on from this. But yeah, hit us up in the comments and let us know how y'all feel about it. Or if you feel anything about it. Or if you're still watching the show.
Oh my God. As soon as I left, as soon as I left, I hear Nikki's not here. So I can just, I'm like, oh my God.
Oh no, I wasn't.
I'm like, oh my God, what is he about to say? And
nothing too crazy.
We can do without them. No, Arnold. I'm like, abort mission. No. We love Queer Eye over here.
I mean, I did love Queer Eye. Like I said, I just haven't kept up with Queer Eye.
Okay. Oh Lord, but thank you.
I mean,
so
it's
much,
probably
Arnold.
amazing, but
I think we're all good now. As Arnold talked about, there's been some issues with the Queer Eye guys, and they were all supposed to show up for an interview. KARAMO did not. He sent a message by way of his assistant, and oh God, this is so messy.
Well, listen, people notice that someone is missing. So obviously there are 4 of the Fab 5 here. We received an email from KARAMO's assistant this morning, which said in part, quote, KARAMO has felt mentally and emotionally abused for years, and he's been advised by his therapist to protect himself and his peace by not attending. But he did send this video. Take a look.
Hey, Jenna and Chanel, congratulations on becoming the most amazing duo on daytime TV. I just want to say thank you to all the fans who supported us and rocked with us for 10 seasons. This new season is going to be amazing. You're going to love every minute of it. And just like the themes of this season, I'm modeling what I believe is most important, which I want to remind you all. Love yourselves and protect yourselves. That's why I'm here at home and not there. But continue to watch the show. The crew worked on it and did an amazing job. I want to shout out to the crew. I want to shout out to all the fans. I want to shout out to the executives from Netflix. Thank you for having me for 10 seasons.
Okay. Tough. Well, to see that, to hear that, were you surprised that he's not here today?
It is so difficult. I think both of you can identify with when you're on a show and you are just relentlessly working. It is so difficult to center what you need and how to take care of yourself. And he's been teaching people how to take care of themselves on Queer Eye for almost 10 years. And I'm actually so proud of him for centering what he needs to do and taking care of himself. It's not easy to do. That's not an easy statement to make. And I'm really proud of him for doing that. Obviously, we wish that he was here, but I am really proud of him for doing what he needs to do do what's best for himself.
So
I'm gonna listen, the boys are media trained. Everybody, listen, the statements came like this.
Can I just say also, every interview, they're holding each other's hands. Because they're just like, it's not us, it's KARAMO.
Right.
I will say this, KARAMO is a polarizing character. He is a polarizing character. I do think that his mama heard something slick about her child and went back and told him. Here's the thing. Are they going, is this like the final season? Because I'm like, KARAMO.
No, it hasn't been promoted as such.
Like, so does this mean he's done with the show? Because how are you going to be able to work again? You have made this show so messy and it's a positive show.
Right.
So where are they going to go from here? And I'm just like, is it because you know that you have a secure job over here? So you're just like, I don't need this. I don't know. I mean, this was messy. This was good for us. But I'm just like, dude, what is...
KARAMO is a polarizing figure. I mean, I don't know how, we're of a certain age, but I do remember KARAMO was on Real World Philadelphia. So like, seeing KARAMO out and about and then seeing him on TV when he was on Real World and he was like real DL and real closeted and, he moved to Philly and was like real masculine and was dating guys around the city and he was dating people I knew in the city. And it was just very like, it's just so interesting to see this pivot that he made. Like he's very comfortable. He speaks differently. He looks different. It's just like, it's a very different man. So I just think that it's kind of cool seeing like who he is and how he's been able to pivot. And I think there's a lot of people who don't even know that he was on Real World. Like he really this is his lane. Like this is what he's known for. So I thought that his statement was really great. I really loved how he tied it into like, this is what I do and I'm practicing what I do. Protect yourself and protect your peace. I thought that was cute, but they didn't catch JVN slipping at all because he said, oh, and I'm really proud of him for doing what he needed to do. Like because they were caught off guard. They didn't know about that. You know what I mean? They caught it. So kudos to them. The media training over there is big, especially for it to be those two, because I feel like they're the breakouts.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Right after that, I believe his name is Bobby, got into the mess. He posted this. This was on his TikTok, Bobby Burke. He says, how's everyone's week going? Have you seen my new show, Junk or Jackpot, on HGTV, right? And it was just really, okay, right after the controversy, people's talking about me because KARAMO unfollowed everybody but Bobby. So him and Bobby, they are still tight. And Bobby was somebody who left the show with a little bit of controversy, right? So he posts this. It doesn't seem like a big deal, right? Then you click on the song, and this is the name of the song that was playing. My kink is karma. So,
I actually love this song.
Yeah. I said, I can't believe the Queer Eye guys are getting at it like this.
Why not?
So listen, I will say 10 years this is the only time that we've ever had it, like they've ever had any issue come out about them. Good job. And had KARAMO not told us, we wouldn't have known.
Well, people did speculate that Bobby left for a reason, that Bobby wasn't getting along with somebody. So I think people did know that. Like Bobby really wasn't saying too much. Bobby just left like he wasn't happy. I think Bobby's contract was only to do a certain number of seasons, and it got so successful that they wanted more. He said, I don't even like it like this. Like you could leave, you know what I mean? So I think people speculated or had an idea that something was a little off because something was off with Bobby, and Bobby chose to leave a very high profile, successful show.
Here is the thing. Bobby did not choose to leave the show. What happened was, and this is from Bobby's word, he posted it on his page.
Oh, okay.
What happened was he did an interview and he said when the show wrapped, he was not informed that they were going to do more seasons.
Oh,
so he booked another gig because Netflix, I don't know who had it at the time, but they didn't tell them that they were renewing them for more seasons. So while everybody was in limbo, he got another job. And when that job was about to start filming, all of a sudden the show gets renewed. And Bobby was just like, something's fishy about this. Because everybody, because Queer Eye was a big hit.
Right.
And everybody, even though it was such a big hit, everybody decided to just chill. Nobody was looking to take any opportunities. I took an opportunity because nobody was saying anything.
Right.
And when I take an opportunity and all of a sudden I'm no longer available for the show gets renewed, but everybody else is available. So he feels like he was snaked out of another season because the cast didn't like him. So he feels like they all went behind his back and wanted him out of the show for whatever reason, because it seems like Bobby was very popular.
And he's good. Like, he's an interior designer. He's good.
Yeah. But he's doing well. He's doing well.
He got a new show.
Yep. Good for Bobby. And that show is doing well as well. So good
on
for him.
HGTV, which is his actual lane,
Good for KARAMO. The Star family is saying, CM said they've been saying that this is the final season. So if this is the final season, then I can see why KARAMO is KARAMO is moving the way he's moving.
But like, who's saying it's the final season? Well, they've been saying it. Yeah. Okay.
Dare Show podcast said yes, it's the final season. So this is the way you go out, I guess. He's like, I don't have to perform anymore. I don't have to.
Well, if that's the case, then I don't mind what he's doing because the season is wrapped and you can kind of say whatever you want. So yeah, because I was saying like, oh, he probably should have waited until afterwards, but it's like at this point, why?
But see, here's my thing. I wonder how long this has been brewing for him to make a move like this.
Well, the assistant said for years.
Wow.
He's felt ostracized for years.
Wow.
So I don't know.
Child, well, he done moved on from that, so good for him. All right, moving on to, let's get serious for a second, and then we'll get back to the mess. Let's move on to Minnesota, child.
Oh God. Okay.
You wanted to talk about that?
I did only because I feel like, we all need escape. We don't even have to stay on it. I mean, what more can we say? We all need escape. We all are like trying to find moments of joy, and that's what entertainment is. That's what talking about gossip and the mess is. Like, I will always gossip. I will, it's my lifeblood. You know what I mean? Like, we need to do this. We need to talk about this stuff. We're in a group chat, we don't always talk about serious stuff, but it really would be disingenuous if we talked about these things and pretended like other things weren't happening. Like at the Golden Globes when Mark Ruffalo was like, I'm happy to be here, but like, I gotta be honest, like somebody just got shot and I'm not cool with it. Same thing at the Sundance Film Festival. People were like, what's happening is horrible. Like, I'm here for my job. It's my career. Natalie Portman, who is, by the way, one of my favorite actresses, she like broke down crying on the red carpet. She was just like, I'm happy to be here. This is lovely, but like, I don't recognize my country and this is like horrible. So, Renee Nicole Good was murdered on the streets of Minneapolis a couple weeks ago, and this past weekend on Friday was the largest general strike, one of the largest general strikes in American history in Minneapolis. And it wasn't just a boycott, it was a general strike organized by the city, by labor unions, by businesses. No work, no school, no shopping. They shut the economy down. That's monumentous. The press did not cover it. It's a monumentous thing because when workers don't go to work, they shut shit down. You know what I mean? If no one's making money, then no one's making money. So if the city is so unified, and when I say like all the workers unions and all the stores and all the businesses, we're like, no, we're not doing it. We are sending a really big message. So the next day is when Alex Preddy was murdered by these officers as well. I cannot overstate how bad this is and how this authoritarian regime that is like quelching dissent and literally murdering people in the streets, how bad that is. And we just don't have a choice to live in the realm of escapism. You know what I mean? Yes, Keith Porter died before Renee did. You know what I mean? Actually, 9 people have been murdered this year by ICE. So, you know, these ones are getting a lot of attention. One, because they were both filmed and it was right on, you know, we all saw it on our TVs, on our phones, on our computers. 2, these were white people. These were not, you know, the brown immigrants that everyone is so scared of, that ICE is supposed to be going after, these criminals and thugs and stuff. These are just people in the city who were not committing any crimes. And not only were they killed in the past, when the police killed somebody or with some police brutality or something, somebody gets on the news, oh, you know, there's an investigation going, this person is on paper duty, this person is suspended, whatever. Immediately, the administration gets on TV and gets on social media and blatantly lies. Lies. So we just have to acknowledge that. We have to talk about it. We have to be aware of what's happening. And what we can do, and I'm going to leave it at this, and I don't know if you want to add, what we can do, we all need to be calling our senators and one, just telling them how we feel about it. Because we pay taxes, we pay their salary, and we pay ICE's salary. So we need to call and tell them that what is happening is unacceptable. We need to call multiple times. You need to call every day and tell your senators that it's not acceptable, but you really need to be telling them, do not release any further funding for DHS and ICE. Also, get Kristi Noem up out of there, impeach her, and remove her. So yes, the power is with the people. You can call, you can write emails, you can speak to someone or leave voicemails. It's a national switchboard number. You can find your senator, you can find your congressman, but you really, really need to be calling your senators right now. And I'm going to say, especially if they're Republican, because the Democrats are tired of hearing it. They got work to do. They got a lot of work to do. But you need to be calling your senators multiple times and telling them ICE is out of hand. Do not release any funding for ICE. But also, there is a general strike, a nationwide general strike that is being organized for this Friday. So if you have the opportunity, I mean, it's kind of last minute. So if you can, don't go to work. If you have to go to work, don't do any shopping. Don't spend any money. If you have to spend some money, spend it within your community. Spend it with POC, spend it, you know, small businesses, you know what I mean? But no big box stores. And we really, really, really have to stop giving money to companies and people who fund our oppression. I mean, Amazon. I mean, to an extent, to Apple.
Arnold, can I just say this really quickly? Me and Arnold are doing a separate live because Arnold got more people to cuss out. And I told him that we would not have enough time to get through the next list of people he wants to get together. So keep it light, Arnold.
Wait, really quickly, I want to, and we can move on because we can keep it light because the funding of the next topic we going on is funny. Democrats really can't do anything. They don't have the majority. While that is true, Democrats really can do a lot more than what they're doing. And they are playing in our faces, acting like, oh, they're so powerless. They just can't do anything because you see what they can do with power. You know what I mean? They don't have the majority. Yeah, they are outvoted, but some states, like my state, has a Democrat and a Democrat senator and a Republican senator. So if y'all are coming together, if y'all got a common goal, y'all need to be reaching across the aisle, behind the scenes, and doing something. And Democrats can be better with their messaging. And what Democrats really, really, really can do is at least be one band, one sound. They're not even doing that. 7 Democrats from the House voted to give ICE funding. That's how it even got to the Senate. If those 7 Democrats had just been like, hey, we're not signing off on anything unless y'all take this DHS funding. And this was after Nicole Good was murdered. So they should have known, like, things are wrong. Things are out of control. We're not going to do any funding. Y'all have to either negotiate with us or y'all not getting no money. If they had done that, it would not have advanced. It shouldn't even be going to the Senate if Democrats were all one band, one sound. Yes, they don't have the majority, but both in the House and in the Senate, they have the slimmest minorities in history. In history. Like within the past month, Marjorie Taylor Greene left Congress and a Republican congressman died. So they done lost 2 people in the last month. So they don't need much. They just need a few Republicans to vote for them. So I'm not going to let them off the hook saying, oh, they're in the minority, they can't do anything. That's true, but they can do a lot more than what they're doing. But again, really quickly, the general strike is the 30th. If you can participate and send a message, do that. If you can just not use, stay off Amazon, stay off this, stay off that, you know what I mean? Stay off TikTok. How about that? Delete them TikToks.
Oh, listen, it's going to happen because everybody's been deleting TikTok. It's a nightmare.
Delete the TikToks.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. Here are my thoughts. Unfortunately, and we've talked about this, unfortunately, it had to happen to white people.
Yes.
Because unfortunately, the majority of white voters voted for this. And until those voters realize that they are no different than every other American, this was going to always happen. And
they'll tell you I didn't vote for this. I don't really know what you voted for, but I didn't vote.
They voted for this to happen to people that didn't look like them.
Right.
And now they're seeing that it's happening to people who look like just like them. So now they're realizing, oh, they don't care about anybody. They will get anybody out of here that is in their way. And also, thank you, Star Family, for mentioning that this is a targeted attack on Minnesota because, like it was said in the comments, if the Republican Party, the Trump administration is afraid that if they lose the midterms, they're going to prison. Steve Bannon has been saying this. Steve Bannon has been telling them, you guys have got to make sure you win. If not, we're all getting locked up because they have just been out here and just been extremely reckless. And there's been no checks and balances because of this administration. I will say this, extremely proud of Minnesota, extremely proud of how they are coming together as a community. We see white guys with guns patrolling the streets and just being like, I'm not coming here and taking my neighbor. We see a lot of white people stepping up and using their privilege. And I do believe that the slaughter of Renee and the slaughter of Alex is to shock or scare those white people who are stepping up. It's to tell them that if you get involved, we'll take you out too. However, with Minnesota, that's not having it. The more they push back, the more people come out, and we are not seeing it. That's why Ellison took over TikTok, because we were seeing it there. We're not seeing these protests on the news. We're seeing this on social media, and a lot of us were getting our news from international news organizations. So now you have our government blocking all of the ways that we could see what's actually happening, because if we see that people are fighting back and winning, then it encourages other people. Welcome to being Black American. That is why we are the most surveillance, we are the most attacked demographic in the United States of America, because we fight back. And when we fight back, we inspire people. we inspire people globally to be like, oh, I don't have to take these conditions. So what they're trying to do is not only divide us by all of these freaking bots, but they're also taking away our sources for seeing others who are being successful in this fight. So props to Minnesota for coming together as a community and being like, not on our watch, not on our watch. And other, other states and cities in America need to follow suit. I will say this. I said that they're planning on coming to Philly. We all know how that's going to go, right? But I will also say I hate the fact that everybody's just like, oh, Philly's going to be fine. It's still going to be a war zone if they come there. And Philadelphia is a predominantly Black city. That's what they want. They want Black blood. Their issue with Black people is that after we saw that election, we said, oh, y'all got it. And because we sat down and we removed our covering from everybody in America, everybody was able to see behind the curtain and see that wizard. So now that everybody is being woken up because we have decided to sit back down, they need to get us out there in the street to cause an even greater distraction. And because we're not putting our bodies on the line, they cannot shed our blood and they cannot create the distraction. So no, I don't want ICE in Philly because Black blood is going to be shed. And I do not want that for my people, for the safety of my city, of my family, of my friends, and also because it creates the great distraction that they want. They want to confuse everybody. They want to distract everyone. They want everybody to believe that we have lost, that there is no hope. But if you look at Minnesota, you see that we are winning. And it's unfortunate that we had to lose Renee. It's unfortunate that we had to lose Alex. It's unfortunate that we had to lose Keith. But if you are not out here in LA, you do not know that they are running ICE out of these neighborhoods. Like everybody's using whistles. People in LA are shaking cups full of ice. Like there are ways, like they even have code names that I won't mention for, ice trucks or whatever. If they're close, the people are coming together as a community and protecting each other. So do not be discouraged. We are winning and the pendulum will swing back.
Yes. I mean, and listen, and I'm in Philadelphia, so everything she said, I did. I mean, they're here. They've been here. We're just hoping that they don't. Well, we always knew that.
That was a prophecy. I remember that. I remember her words.
We always knew that. They didn't know that. We knew that. They didn't know that. Yeah, inside sources can't be trusted, or they just don't talk about it. But yeah, if they come, I mean, I think that is the intention. You know what I mean? It's Black and it's very, very immigrant as well. You know what I mean? Like there are immigrants of every shade and color and nationality here. And I think that that's part of what they want as well. They want to change the narrative because, the news is not going to be as sympathetic if it's a Black person. They, you know what I mean? Like they don't want to see it, but it really hits home to white people. It's
also normalized.
Yeah, it's normalized.
So it's just
They're
like
like
Black blood being shed. You're just like, oh, okay, now we're back to normal. So we don't have to do the strikes anymore. This is how it's always been.
Right. If it's an immigrant, if it's a Latino person, whether they, whatever their status was, if they have a Latin name, then it's a little easier for them to digest that maybe they were a criminal. Maybe they were the people they were supposed to be going after. But here's the thing. ICE isn't supposed to kill immigrants either. That's not what they do. They're not an execution squad. So like people are very accepting of the fact that they hurt these people. ICE has only been around since 2003. They're not supposed to kill people or harm people or hurt people in any way. You know what I mean? That's not what they're supposed to do. Yeah, where are the Epstein files? We're not going to get onto that, but that's another problem I have with the Democrats, because you said Democrats are in the minority. They can't do much. They did do this, and now no one's releasing the files, and they just like, oh, okay, moving on. No, we're not moving on. It's a legal mandate. It should be out there. That's a fault of the Democrats, because why they're not pressing for it. But ICE out. ICE out of everywhere, abolish ICE. Again, National Switchboard, call, be connected to your senators, call your senators, tell them you don't want ICE, tell them you don't want any funding for ICE, give them all your concerns. Nobody in Congress or Senate should be resting while all this is happening in our country. So, okay.
Dahlia, you're absolutely right. Dahlia said Trump turned ICE into a private militia. Guys, when the release of the January 6ers were not because they were loyal to him. He released them because they are the ones that he put in charge of ICE. That's what's happening. All of them January 6ers are ICE people. They are living out their fantasies of killing women, of killing Black people and people of color, of killing liberals. This is their fantasy that they're able to live out. Unfortunately, fortunate for this administration, they created a monster that they can't control them Frankensteins. They cannot control them. And I do not think that they anticipated for them to kill white people this fast and en masse. So they're getting a little nervous now because now they have woken up the voting block that they thought that they had on lock.
Yeah.
So
with that being said, the Republican nominee for governor of Minnesota, who was running this race, upcoming in November, he stepped out. He said, "I'm a Republican, but I did not sign up for this. I can't stand by a party that's doing this to my state. I can't watch this. This is not right, and I'm not going to be a part of it." So Republican.
So he stepped down because he wasn't going to win.
He stepped down because he wasn't going to win, right?
Yeah, there was no way that he was going to win there. But shout out to Minnesota, sending our thoughts, love, and prayers to them. They are doing a fantastic job.
Send it here to Philly too.
Yeah, I am sending it to Philly. They will win. Philly will win. This is not the end. This is all a distraction. It's going to work out in our favor. And I also want to say this before we move on and get back into the mess. If you are Black, if you're a Black American, a Black immigrant, anyone from a marginalized community, immigrant, a person of color, you don't have to be out there. That is not like, I think that people think there's one way of protesting. That's why I always talk about the Montgomery bus boycott, because America is a capitalist nation. Hurt them in their pockets. For those of us who do not feel safe of putting our bodies out there, because they're hunting people at this point. And if they are killing people in broad daylight and killing white people in broad daylight, we can only imagine what they are doing in them detention centers, in them ICE detention centers. So it's not for you.
Stories are coming out every day, and it's about what they're doing.
It's not safe for you if you are not white to be out there. So if you do not, or especially if you are an immigrant, first gen, DACA, if you don't feel safe and if you don't feel comfortable going out there, trust your gut, listen to your ancestors, baby. Don't go out there. Hurt them in their pockets. Take away their power, which is their money. That's where you should be focusing. But we're winning, guys. We're winning. We're winning. Yes, Kylie Seed, carry your passports. That's where we're at this point.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
They have to do that.
Yep. Hurt them in their pockets. Back to the mess. Next up on the docket is, well, since we're talking about Minnesota, let's get into Don Lemon and Nicki Minaj. So this is who I follow because he is boots on the ground. So Don Lemon and Nicki Minaj has gotten into back and forth lately because Don Lemon was with the protesters who stormed the church in Minnesota. I'm sorry, walked into
thank you.
And was questioning the Christians in that church because their pastor is an ICE officer. How the hell does that work? But so they went into the church and questioned not just the pastor, but the leadership and the patrons of that church of like, why as Christians would you even support this? Don Lemon walked in to the church because the church is supposed to welcome everybody, walked in to the church to report what was going on. And not only was he attacked by the Trump administration, he was verbally attacked on Twitter by Nicki Minaj, who has come out as not only a Trumper, but somebody who supports this administration and everything that they are doing, especially what they are doing with ICE. She is being used as a black body to voice the hatred of this administration, and she is positioning herself as one of the good ones. I will say this, and I'm not saying this because I like her music. I think that this lady and a lot of the celebrities that he has, that are coming out for Trump, I think he has something on them. And this woman is undocumented. She is, I believe, first gen, but I don't think she's first gen.
She is
First gen, but I don't think her parents were able to get her documents here legally. So I think not only is she doing this for her own safety to stay within America, because she's, I think her going back to Trinidad, I don't think she wants to do that, right? She's been here her entire life. But also her brother and her husband are sex offenders. They're felons. They can't travel. They pretty much, especially her husband, pretty much are handicapping her. And she is not able to do what she really wants to do within her career because her husband is handicapped. So she's looking for Trump to, wipe away his record, also help her with her citizenship. And I also think that she was paid a significant amount of money because she was about to lose her home in Malibu, I believe. It was, I think it's about to be put up for auction. And then suddenly she came in at the midnight hour and was able to take her home back. So her home was not removed from her because she was able to come up with this lump sum of money. So I think, and I'm being very honest, I've known who Nicki Minaj was since she was walking around acting like a minstrel and wearing a chicken wing necklace, right? I knew what this was. I knew that she was playing a minstrel. So me finding out that she is not Black American wasn't a shocker to me because a lot of Black immigrants do not understand the relationship that Black Americans have with America and white people in general here in America, because our story is very different. A lot of immigrants are choosing to live amongst their oppressor. We have been forced to. So our relationship with whiteness and white supremacy is very different. We don't see them as saviors. We see them as oppressors. So the relationship is very different. So she can look at how we approach race in America and say we're doing too much because of how she came here and how her family has seen this land. Without educating yourself, especially if you are Black or a person of color, if you are not educating yourself about American history, you are doing yourself a disservice. You first have to start with Native Americans, and then you have to make your way down to Black Americans, and you will get the true story of what this nation is. So I am not defending this lady, but what I am saying is that I think that she is doing this because she's either being blackmailed or she was promised a lump sum of money and she received that money. And this is why Malcolm X was always against Black celebrities being the voice of any movement concerning Black people, because the Black bourgeoisie, the Black elite, Black capitalists will not save us. They can always be bought. So anyway, Don and Nicki get into this back and forth on Twitter, and then Don, he decides to stop typing, and he puts his thoughts in a video, and in my opinion, cleared the girl. I said, Don living unhinged is nothing to play with. So here is Don's thoughts.
Been asking me about responding to Nicki Minaj's unhinged homophobic tweet about me. I usually don't respond to this stuff, but let me just say this. Nicki Minaj, stop talking about shit for which you know nothing about. This is out of your depth, by the way, and you are a homophobic bigot. You don't care about African Americans, and you're not an African American. From what I know, you are reportedly an undocumented citizen, so you should be deported under Donald Trump's rules. And the other thing is that your family members, you have one family member who is reportedly a sex offender, the other family member, your husband or whatever, a sex offender is your husband, and one of them is reportedly a pedophile. And you have nerve to talk about me and what you think that I do? Nicki Minaj, get a life. Stop being a pick-me. You should have put a pick-me doll on that damn tweet instead of a Chucky doll, because you are nothing but a pick-me. And I choose not to pick you. And so should black people, and so should gay people. Shouldn't buy your music. Clock that.
Oh my goodness. Can I just say the evolution of Don Lemon is crazy. From, I think this was either, I don't know if it was the Black Lives Matter movement, the first Black Lives Matter protest, or if it was Hurricane Katrina. But do you remember when, I think it was Hurricane Katrina, and he was reporting about the devastation that was happening around him. And do you remember that sister that walked up on him and she started screaming at him?
No.
Do you? I forgot. There was an iconic statement that came from that, and everybody used to say that to him. It was something like, "Are you happy, Don? Are you happy, Don?" Like, she cussed him out and read him for filth. And Don Lemon needs to thank God for that, sister, because he was a different reporter after that.
He was.
She read him for filth. It was a viral meme for a minute. She was not playing with him, and he has been a different reporter ever since. And I am so thankful to CNN for firing him.
Yeah, Don is unshackled.
He's unshackled. He is boots on the ground, and he don't play.
You should have seen him on New Year's Eve. That's all I watched on New Year's Eve. So much fun. Yep. As far as Nicki Minaj, I want to disagree with you a little bit. I don't think anyone has anything on Nicki Minaj. I think Nicki Minaj is just an opportunist. I think she really is an opportunist. I think she is a pick-me. I think that she does think in her mind that aligning with this administration will, benefit her husband or her brother in some way. Your brother's a criminal, and her brother's in jail too, so he ain't hindering her. He's behind bars. Her brother's a criminal, her husband's a criminal, they're sex offenders, they're felons, so is the president. She feels some kind of like, he's been pardoning people. So she probably does see, if I cozy up to them while they're in power, it will benefit me in some way. I don't really think they're giving her any money. I think she probably was like paid for, her appearances and stuff like that. But I don't really think they're giving her any money. Nicki Minaj got a lot of money. Nicki Minaj has a lot of money. Nicki Minaj was not even in financial trouble. Her house was up for repossession, essentially, not because she couldn't afford it, because she just refused to pay someone when she lost a lawsuit. She just didn't pay. And they said, well, if you don't pay, we're going to get this person their money any way we can. Your biggest asset is this house you have in LA. So it's not even that she couldn't afford to. She wound up having to pay a lump sum of like $500,000 or something like that. But she could have just paid the man his legal fees and his damages a couple years ago. So it's just because but that also goes to her character. She's kind of just an asshole. She's kind of just a bad person. You know what I mean? Her husband assaulted this man. He sued her. He won. She never paid up. So, you know what I mean? These are the consequences. So, but yeah, I think that she is a person who made her name and made her fame off of Black people, off of the LGBTQ community. And by that, I mean like Black gay boys and Black trans women. And so if we being specific, you know what I mean? That's who her fan base was. So for her to do this hard pivot, which really wasn't a hard pivot, because if you really have been paying attention to her, she kind of like, took this Christian conservative lean over the past couple years. She actually seems to be like, to me, going through some kind of like religious psychosis or something, because I don't know what's going on with her, but first it was like a religious pivot. She started saying little stuff, and it was conspiracy theorist shit during the pandemic. Remember that whole thing when she said that her cousin's friend got,
Yep.
you know what I mean? And the health minister
Wait, it was his balls blew up from
his balls blew up, and it made him impotent, and he couldn't get married. And the health minister of Trinidad had to be like, that ain't true. We don't have no reports of that. Please, we love her, but do not listen to Nicki Minaj. It just goes to show you this person is unhinged, the way that she attacks people and children, and namely like other rappers and their children and their dead mothers and stuff like that. She just is kind of like, this is just who she is, this internet troll, this mean-spirited, this jealous kind of person. And so I think that, like, unfortunately, that's the culture we live in. That's who Trump is. He's mean-spirited, he's vindictive, he's racist, he says shockingly mean things.
It's a season of the troll. I've been saying that. Like,
yeah, I think she
trolling
found some
has
kind
become
of
very
kinship.
profitable.
Yeah, she found kinship in that. It aligns with her values, and that's just what she's on. But also, yeah, she is a grifter. She is going to make some money off of the association with them, or she assumes she does. I don't know if the mega crowd is really listening to Nicki Minaj, but she's assuming that in some way this is going to benefit her financially. But I think that this was just a misstep for her because, one, she didn't have to say anything. You know what I mean? People kind of ran her offline after the whole TPUSA thing. But you called him. We didn't even talk about what she said to Don. She said Don cocksucking lemon and like really horrific homophobic stuff.
Yep.
So she didn't just say like, she didn't make a commentary about any one thing he did. She specifically said homophobic things about him when all of her fans are gay.
My thing is, she went there so easily. I was just like, did you forget who's keeping your lights on?
She doesn't care. She found a new she found a new cow to milk.
Yeah.
She found a new cow to milk, so she's leaving us behind.
Just to tank everything. How sad.
I mean, and unfortunately, this is what people do. This is what people do. The problem is not, to me, the celebrities like her who go crazy and like really put it on the front street and just be as horrible as they can in supporting this administration, because they actually are few and far between. It's her, it's who like James Woods and Sylvester Stallone, fucking nobodies, you know what I mean? She is actually still relatively relevant. Is more of the celebrities. Your favorite celebrity, did they say anything about Minnesota this week? Or are they trying to sell a product this week? You know what I mean?
I've been telling you, y'all gotta pivot. Y'all gotta pivot.
You know what I mean? And you can pivot this way or you can pivot that way. But honestly, not saying anything is a choice as well. So you're not going to have a lot of people doing a Sydney Sweeney or doing a Nicki Minaj. You're going to have a lot more people who are doing a Kim Kardashian, who's still posting every day. And she is a social justice warrior, and she was trying to be a lawyer, but she don't have nothing to say about this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're going to have more people like that. But I think that Nicki is so outspoken because that being a troll, being outspoken, being mean at this point, just mean to whoever, is part of her brand. Yeah. So, of course, she's on this Christian angle. She saw Don Lemon go to a church. She's misinformed because he was just being a journalist. He wasn't one of the protesters or anything. So she had to make a statement and embarrass herself and, flush her career even further down the toilet. So, yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So it's fuck Nicki Minaj and ain't overdoing it. It's fucking Nicki Minaj and ain't overdoing it.
Kristen Collins come without repentance. I do not share any of her views, but she ate on Monster.
And in a couple years, guess what? She's going to do another pivot, just like somebody we don't even have to get into it, but another certain somebody.
Yeah, they're always back.
They always come back. Kanye West took out a full-page ad in the Wall Street Journal apologizing to the Black community, apologizing to Jews, saying, I'm not a Nazi, I'm not a white supremacist, I don't love Hitler. I just had a car accident and it messed up my brain, so now I'm back. So they all, whether we choose to believe him or not, it always comes around. Because you never win when you play dirty. And your brand is going to be tarnished. And Ye ain't been the same. And Nicki's not the same. And guess what? I don't want to hear shit from her when it comes. Yep. I don't want to hear anything.
Yep.
Take her to hell.
I'm just so gagged at how easily she became homophobic. I'm like, nobody even had to put a gun to your head. You just went straight Kim Burrell. My God, today. Moving right along to our final topic of the night. Arnold doesn't know who this is.
I know who it is. I don't know anything about it.
So Lunell and I'll Be Sure are dating. They have made their romance official. On the internet, they shared a video of themselves booed up and telling everybody that this is the real deal.
I didn't hear this at all.
You know what? We didn't get a chance to wish everyone a Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Blessings. It's going to be beautiful. 2026.
Yeah.
And we got something coming for you, too. You already know what it is.
So, first of all, just to, not that we need to really clear anything up, but, I think that people feel I'm unworthy of your love, darling, because they love you so much, honey.
I'm unworthy.
I'm going to wipe this lipstick off.
I'm put my tongue all on your face. No, listen, let me tell you something.
I'm happy for them.
Me too.
Can I also say something real quick?
Go ahead.
He still looks good.
Yeah, he does. He does.
He's good.
He looks really good.
Surprisingly good.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I know he was like a heartthrob. Do white people know who Al B. Shore is?
I don't think so. I think he's black.
I don't think so. But he was like a early 90s like heartthrob R&B singer. I know he had gained a lot of weight. Mm-hmm. And he was in a coma for a little while.
He was in a coma for a very long time. Remember when he got out of his coma, that's when he started. I don't know what happened to him in that coma, but when he got out that coma, he said he almost died. And he, when he was able to come back and get healthy again, he said that he was going to fight for justice for Kim, because Kim Porter, who was Diddy's girlfriend and baby mom to the son that looked just like him, twin daughters. She was first with Al B. Shore. Diddy stole her from Al B. Shore, but she had already had her son, I believe, Quincy, who looks just like his daddy.
Just like his dad. But it's crazy.
Yeah, fitting image. But they were together at the time, and Diddy came in and stole not only Kim Porter, but Al B. Shore's entire identity. That was his thing. He's a destiny swapper. And he was one of the reasons why that documentary actually got off the ground, because he was just he doesn't talk about what happened in that while he was in the coma, but he got better, and he said that his mission is to get justice for her. He has been on it, but he was a 90s heartthrob. He's still pretty much a heartthrob. So the big issue with this is that Lunell is a plus size comedian who is a shock comedian. She does a lot of very sexual.
She's raunchy.
Very, 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 very raunchy. And a lot of people were just when they saw these two boot up, because she actually made that video. So people were just saying, this cannot be real. What is going on? Why would he choose somebody like her? She is ugly. It's Al B. Shore. And so she made that video because people were just saying she is not deserving of him. And that is why they made that video, because people think that she should not be with somebody that they deem attractive and that they put on a pedestal that they do not put Lunell on. Here's the thing I want to say about that.
What a horrible thing to say.
What a horrible thing to say. And listen, she took it in stride. She was just like, she posted up with her man in her video. And she said, they think I'm not deserving of your love, baby.
What a horrible thing to say.
What a horrible thing to say. But this is what I also want to say. They look like a typical boomer relationship.
Yes.
Like, y'all, I don't think a lot of people realize this, especially if you are not Black, especially if you're not Black American. The plus size aunties, they pull them in. They pulling them. They be racking them. When I saw them, I said, that makes sense.
It does.
Those aunties be getting all the men. I'm surprised that she don't have a roster.
And they're the same age. Like, I don't really think it's that unusual a pairing. Like,
that looks like a typical older Black American relationship. Like, that just makes sense.
From like a jazzy city or something.
Yes. You will see that couple in Philly.
Yeah, you do.
To be exact. Like, it was not an odd thing to me. I was just like, yeah, that's what those older couples look like. Like, yeah. It makes sense. And I also think that people need to realize when you are older, when you get to that age, you don't care what society has to think about your relationship. A lot of people, when they're younger, they get the partner, they get the family that society told them that they should have. And then when they get older and they realize that there are more years behind them than ahead of them, they're like, I'm going to live my life.
Why? And as they should.
They're like, I'm going to live my life. I'm going to date who I want to date. I'm going to be who I want to be. A lot of people come out at that age. A lot of people quit their jobs, travel around the world. Like, it's so many, they change up in such a drastic way. And you realize, oh, they're not changing. This is who they were their entire lives. They suppressed who they were to fit society standards. When you get older, they don't care anymore. They are living the life that they want because they don't know when it's their time. And I think especially for he liked her. He's like, I don't care. Like, yo, I almost died. I want to be with who I want to be with. I don't care what y'all think who I should be with. This is who I want to be with. But when I saw that, I was like, oh, this makes sense. Like, this is, you will see multiple older couples like this in Philly. Like, this is normal. Yeah. This is how our aunties be at the cookout, booed up with their boyfriend that they met at the clock bar. Like, this, that's what they be. You know, they be in that clock bar. And the aunties be racking them up. Like, my aunt, she got a different boyfriend at every event. Every event is a different one. And we better not call him by a name that we thought he was.
Do they be fine? Are we sure fine?
All of them. And you can say, hi, sir, because it's a different dude every time. Like, this is just normal. And I just feel like the people who thought that this was an issue, I think they absolutely had to be younger. And I also don't think that they're familiar with older Black couples because they make sense to me.
Yeah. Well, seeing them, I'm like, what's the controversy? Like, okay, yeah, I get it. Yeah.
JMTZ said, I don't see the issue. Just real regular. That's what it is.
And they look happy.
It is. I think they're cute too. They absolutely look happy. And I was just like, this is who, like, listen, old people don't care what you think.
It's not like she's dating some 22-year-old boy or nothing. Like, she's dating a man her age and like.
Yep. Dr. Amani said, bigger size does not mean ugly. And that's what people failed to realize. Also, people failed to realize that plus size people get chosen. They get chosen a lot. We are also conditioned to.
In real life.
In real life. We're also conditioned to think what one culture thinks is beauty and makes that the societal standard. That is not the societal standard for a lot of cultures. Like, big from where I'm from, big girls get chosen.
Yeah.
Like, ain't none of them single. Ain't none of them hurting for a man. Plus
big
size.
Girls get chosen. And big girls be beautiful.
Yes. Yes, they have options. Plus size in other cultures is not unattractive. And that's what a lot of people are failed to realizing. Yes, there are some people who are getting on Ozempic. There are a lot of people who are just like, for what?
For what?
My man loves all of this, and I better not lose no weight. They'll tell you that in a second.
Yeah, the men. That's the thing. The men be like, "Oh no, I don't.
Yep.
No, I don't want you to lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to be who I met."
Yep.
And they be done up in the pieces.
Nice.
They be in the pieces.
Nice. Yep. Dahlia said all my aunties booed up. If they single, it's because they want to be.
Because they want to be. And because they want to be. In a Fendi hat. And I bet you she had on some matching Fendi boots. They be in the pieces.
And the men is still on their phone calling them.
Yeah.
So that Ketaway said they are age appropriate. Finally. Right. Yeah, I think this is a couple that makes sense. And because, especially with celebrities, a lot of people are so used to seeing older guys and a really young celebrity or older men. And if they older black guys, and if they are with a black woman, it's an ambiguous black woman. It's not like a black woman. So you look at her and you see blackness, right? They are just not used to seeing that, I guess. But for a lot of us, this is normal, and this just makes sense. And I think that she handled this backlash with such ease and grace.
Yeah.
Listen,
he did too. He said, I'm not worthy. Like, what are you talking about?
See him said, if they could be 600 plus pound life with relationships, everybody on my 600 pound life, none of them are single. And they are mean to the partner. They always beating up the skinny partner. So listen, CM said, I'm happy that it's age appropriate black and they look happy.
They look happy.
So
I have no idea about this.
Broke up with me.
Oh,
they don't want you skinny. They don't want you skinny. That's on TV. In real life, child, please. Dahlia said, Arnold, have you been spying on my family? They absolutely have the fake 52-piece set with the matching sunglasses.
No. I just know these people. I just know. And she had her Fendi, and I know these ladies.
Listen, and they go to the casino and raise hell.
They definitely going to the casino.
Bass said, later for that dude, so stuff. I'm sure you're out here shining. She absolutely. Paula Girl says, see, I never thought of Lunell's appearance as a big girl. Heck, half of my married aunties have meat, their word. To me, she's just a great comedian in person. I don't trust him, but I'll join you. We'll see how this goes. But again, this wasn't a big deal to me. I was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is what older black couples look like, guys.
Yeah. And honestly, they might just be having fun.
Yeah, of course. Why not? Why not?
He almost died.
He's going to do what he wanted to do. And he probably been wanting a big girl. But because everybody's like, oh, I'll be sure you can't do it. He said, I'm living my life. Go ahead, Al. Go ahead. So that is all that we have to talk about. Arnold, any final thoughts?
No, we just going to see how it goes. We just going to take it day by day in America, y'all. Again, I urge you all to find your joy where you can, but also take action where you can. Call your senators, use your money, spend your money wisely, do the boycott if you can, but most importantly, be active, be present, be there for one another. The Oscars is coming up. So, keep up with us for that. Mm-hmm. And I'll let Nikki tell you, but I think we're going to do something else. We're going to do a fashion thing. Yes.
We're going to do a fashion live sometime this week. We're trying to figure out Arnold's Snowden schedule. But we're going to do a fashion live sometime this week because Arnold wants to talk about Men's Fashion Week. I also want to talk about how Alandria is slaying and her fashions, and there's just some other topics that we want to discuss that are just fashion based. Did you see what Luxury Law posted?
I did.
So there are some things, and I know you have thoughts. I know you have both.
So for guys, it's Couture Fashion Week now. So like it's happening right now. Like they're the haute couture, which is like the highest high fashion, you know what I mean? The most expensive custom made pieces. Those shows are now. So if you want to, you can get online. You can look at like Christian Dior and Schiaparelli and Chanel, because they're all happening right now this week in Paris. And we're just going to discuss all these shows at the end of the fashion week. And then the weeks are revolving, but I feel like this is like the big week, especially going into the Oscars. So, you know, keep up.
So look out for that this week. Also, make sure we have Arnold's Cash App right there at the bottom. Make sure you bless our co-host.
Yes, please. I've been out of work. I've been snowed in. So
he gives his time, even in a snowstorm, to come and spend with us. And also, while I have technical difficulties, he takes the reins, does not complain. And I totally appreciate you. Thank you so much, Arnold. And it's also very late for him where he's at. So I thank you so much, Arnold, for taking out.
Because y'all know I'm hungry, because every time I get on here, Nikki starves me. So
that one last time I didn't. But I'll do better about that. But thank you again, Arnold, for joining us. And E for Empathy, we are going to talk about Valentino and the fashion.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's all going to come up in our fashion live this week. We're just trying to finalize the date, and when we do, we will have that discussion. So thank you all for joining us. We will see you soon for something else. Love you. Stay warm. Stay within your community. Fight back. We are going to win. Do not be deceived by the media. Love you guys. Good night.